out of apartment 5B.
You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
What's good? You are tuned in to Apartment 5B, hosted by your man Kill. I got my squad with me in effect as always. Sis, what's going on, Porsche?
Not a whole lot, Kill. So happy to be here. How are you?
No doubt. Everything is good. You know, I wish Ben Simmons would stop acting like a little, I'm not going to curse right now, but neither here nor there. I wish, I'm going to leave it alone. Rel, what's going on, good brother?
Everything good, man. Happy to be here as always.
No doubt. That's a nice Stillmatic Biggie joint in the back too, good brother.
Appreciate you.
No doubt. The R&B guru, JR, what's going on, man?
What's up? Good to be here.
All right. The incomparable DJ Rec 1.
Comparable, holy shit.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, good brother?
I'm chilling, man. I'm sad I got to cut this beard off on Sunday night, but it's all good.
Why you got to cut it off?
I'll go back to work.
Yeah. Yo, you'd have to give me some religious exemption or something, man. I'm gonna have Minister Farrakhan write a note for me or some shit.
That's one of the first questions, man.
That's just not gonna happen.
Can I keep my beard? Nope.
Yo,
I gotta cut my hair. I'll be like, let me cut it. I got you.
I'll tell you the craziest thing, man. Real quick beard story, because y'all know I usually don't do this. We get straight to the topic. I'm flying back from LA, and this is maybe 2 years ago, right when COVID first started. And I'm on the plane leaving LA, and there's an article about how with COVID. Now, keep in mind, COVID had just started. Like, I left LA just in time when people started really talking about COVID. And it was this article saying that you have to shave your beard because COVID germs could get in your beard. You don't understand. So I'm reading the article, and now we're taking off, and I lose Wi-Fi. And the whole 5-hour flight, like, I'm just stressing, like, yo, I'm not fucking cutting my beard. It's gonna be an argument with T, because she gonna be like, oh shit, you love your beard more than you love your family. It was so stressful to then land and find out like it was some old article and it wasn't real. You don't understand how stressed I was, because I was like, I'm not cutting my fucking beard. Like, I'm just not. You're gonna have to find a way around this COVID shit, because I'm not cutting my beard. End of story. Trey Lee, what's going on, good brother?
Man, all is well, man. I had to do some shifting in here because it's making too much noise. You know what I mean? Everybody sleep, but we good now. We situated. Dig?
All right, no doubt, good brother, no doubt. Y'all already know what it is with me. Let's jump right into it. Today we are talking about what are the dopest sophomore hip hop albums. So many times we hear about the sophomore jinx. First album is incredible, a la Mike Geronimo, The Natural. Second album is like Vendetta with Making Moves with Puff, and it's like, what happened? Smith & Wesson, The Shining, classic, 5 Mike, one of the greatest hip hop albums ever. That second album as the Cocoa Brothers, not The Rude Awakening, not so much. So there's a lot of sophomore albums that just never really did it, but then you have some sophomore albums that were just incredibly dope. So we're gonna be looking at the top 5 sophomore albums, because I want to see what do we all think is the dopest hip hop album. As always, normally it's ladies first. Porch told me let her go in last today, so that's why she's gonna be going last. I'm gonna set it off then. I got one of my albums is the infamous Mobb Deep. Definitely one of the dopest. Again, a lot of people don't realize there was Juvenile Hell. You'd be shocked to think of how many people there are who have no idea, that think that this was their debut album. You know what I'm saying? And they don't know about Juvenile Hell. So definitely the infamous. I mean, incredible album. Q-Tip on production, Havoc on production. I always give Havoc major credit because this is a dude who just got into production, and this nigga made Shook Ones, Survival of the Fittest, made some of the hardest. I mean, truth be told, Shook Ones Part 2 is one of the dopest beats to me ever. You know what I mean? Not to mention songs. So for a newer producer to do that, That's incredible. Second joint I got, and again, these are no order. I'm gonna get to my number one, Low End by Tribe. You know, I wasn't a big Tribe fan in the beginning. I liked them. I thought they was cool. I left my wild El Segundo. I didn't know what the fuck they was talking about. I'm like, yo, this is too confusing. Did you leave it? Didn't you leave it? Why y'all dressed like this? Fuck is wrong with y'all? I wasn't really a fan. I heard Bonita. It was cool. The Can I Kick It remix with the Baby Huey drums. Now that was crazy. And to me, that was like the lead into what we were going to get with the Low End theory. So when I see Check the Rhyme and these dudes are now normal, they have on fucking jean shorts and jerseys and sneakers. Now I'm like, okay, I'm rocking with these dudes now. So Low End. We got Liquid Swords by the Genius. You know what I'm saying? Again, a lot of people don't know Words of the Genius was his first album. This was his sophomore album, you know, technically like that. Just Five Mics. I mean, one of the greatest albums of all time. The next one I'm gonna go with was It Was Written by Nas. If you've ever followed me or listened to me talk about this album long enough, I always say I had the advanced copy, so I didn't know who produced it. I loved it. I thought maybe Large Pro did Watch Them Niggas. I knew RZA did Shootouts, you know, like, you know, so when I saw the Track Masters did it, I was like, yo, I gotta give these dudes Tone and Pope some love, because like these beats are dope. And I really believe it gets hated on so much. And y'all know I don't even use that word, hate, but I do think it gets hated on because it says produced by the Track Masters. I truly believe in my heart of hearts that those same beats, those same songs said produced by Q-Tip, Pete Rock, and, you know, Primo, just like it was, people would love It Was Written. And the number one album that I think is the greatest sophomore album ever. I think it's the greatest hip hop album ever. P.E. It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold This Bag. Like I said, to me, it's the greatest hip hop album ever. It's not Illmatic for me. Illmatic is not in my top 10 of greatest hip hop albums of all time. So, you know, that's my rundown. Rel, what you got up next? I got my guy Kel, the Sources in the building from the Q Borough. What's going on, bro?
Good to be here, brother. Good to be. Everybody, what's up? What's up?
You.
Salute.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Rel, who you got up for your 5 albums, man?
All right. I got some of the same ones you got, but I got It Was Written, of course. You know, for all the reasons that you said. That's actually like when I go back to listen to Nas, I get that, like, I usually start there, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I usually listen to that one. I listen to that one more than I listen to Illmatic.
Tell me this, because I struggle with this and I don't know the answer. Whenever I want to hear Nas, I go to It Was Written. So if I'm in the mood to go hear Nas, I go to It Was Written. Does that mean I like it better than Illmatic though? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's the same with Jay. Like, when I feel like hearing Jay, I go to American Gangster before I go to Reasonable Doubt or the Blueprint. But I don't know if that means that I like it better than. But just whenever I'm in the mood for Nas, I always pull It Was Written. I never pull Illmatic.
I'm the same way, and I don't think I like it more. I don't know, man. Like, whenever I'm in that zone, I always go to Taking in Blood first. Like, I don't know. So it's just, I don't know, something about that song that I just go from there. You know what I'm saying? So, and I agree with you about the production. Like, you know, people were bashing it a little bit, and I'm like, yo, do y'all hear this? Like, what are y'all listening to, man? Like, this is fire. You know what I'm saying? I think it was just the Track Master thing. Like, there was just a stigma with them. You know what I'm saying? That, like, the purists, you know, the purists didn't mess with them. You know what I'm saying? Even though some of them beats was hard. You know what I mean?
Bro, I was in my mom's basement, like, sitting there, like, yo, I swore Large Professor did Watch Them Niggas. You know what I mean? Like, easily could have been Large Pro. Like I said, Shootouts has RZA written all over it. Like, I was like, oh shit, RZA on this joint. So like I said, it was the flip for me, and this is why it's actually sometimes good not to know, because I gained so much more respect for the Track Masters because I thought, you know, Large Pro, when Pete and RZA did these beats, so to find out they did it, I gained so much respect for them. But I feel like that the average hip hop person, just when they look at it and it says produced by the Track Masters, it was like, oh, yo, when I heard the message, I was like, yo, this shit crazy. I was like, you know what I mean? And my ear wasn't as tuned as it is, of course, later with Primo. Because when I just heard the scratches, I was like, yo, Preem could have done this, but I mean, of course, he didn't. But yo, that joint, yo, the message is crazy, and of course, that's your favorite quote, right? You know,
Of all
thought
time.
changes.
In,
Yeah,
like,
so I'm like, how do
history
you
of
not
quotes.
like the message? Like,
I don't get it,
neither
man.
you know that. My bad. Keep going, Ralph.
All right, so I got Low End Theory. Low End Theory was kind of like when I really started messing with Tribe. Like the first John, like when I saw like Left My Wallet and El Segundo video, like I wasn't really messing with them like that. You know what I mean? It was cool, but Low End Theory is when like I was like, oh yeah, they, you know what I mean? They official. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think the Jazz Bugging Out video like was at the time was like my favorite video. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I go Low End Theory. Yeah. That was crazy, man. That was crazy. Good Kid, Mad City. You know, some people don't even, you know, realize, you know, Section 80 was really his first album. You know what I'm saying? And so Good Kid, Mad City is almost flawless to me. You know what I'm saying? Great production, great subject matter, lyricism, just a great album. So that's on there for me. And the Infamous, of course. Man, I always say when this get brought up, like I think, you know, the Infamous influenced me and my homeboy a little too much, man. Like I was rapping, I started rapping at the time, and when I think back to some of the stuff we were saying, I'm like, man, yeah, we we was a little too influenced by it. But you know, that was crazy, and for that to be Havoc's first like full album producing, you come up with that, like, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. And then
hold on for a second. The funny thing is in the liner notes that Illadelph Quest was saying how he had to tell Malik and Thought, like, y'all sounding too much like the Infamous. You know what I mean? So just to say like that influence like went everywhere, you know, it's like, because I think it was something like they were saying something about his beats, and Quest was like, well, I ain't say nothing about you and Malik sounding like the Infamous, you know what I mean? So I think that influence was just everywhere. Like I know at Morgan's campus, I'll be like, yo, what's up, Dunn? Like that Dunn language just became, you know, synonymous, so it just went everywhere. So yeah, but my bad. What's your number one, John?
My number one, and this is, you know, my number one. It's probably not number one globally, but Death Certificate.
Not mad at that.
My number one, man. That, you know, that was my, like, when I really was like, yo, like Ice Cube really became like one of my favorites, you know what I'm saying, of all time. You know what I mean? He's still one of my favorites of all time. And that album right there is like my go-to whenever I want to hear Cube, vintage Cube. So I'm gonna go with Death Certificate as my number one.
It's so funny. Last week we was talking about Comm's 3-album run. Yo, Cube's America's Most Wanted, the Kill at Will EP with Jackin' for Beats, and then Death Certificate. Bro, like that's damn near untouchable right there. Like that, you can't go wrong with that. So ain't nothing but love for Death Certificate. Trey, the Illadelph legend. What you got, bro?
Yes, sir. All right. Similar to you guys, man. Of course, you gotta say the Infamous. I mean, that's like my number 3 all time. Is that my number 3? No. That's in my top 5 all time. But it's you know, yeah, the Infamous, man. Nothing else needs to be said about that. You already mentioned Low End Theory, which is my number 3 all time. Nothing else to be said about that. So let me go to no. Business as Usual. Business as Usual.
Yeah.
EPMD.
Whew.
I mean, come on. So what you're saying, manslaughter. I mean the track.
Bro, please listen to my demo, man. Please
listen to my demo. I mean,
Knick-knack Patty.
Come on, man. I mean, I mean, come on, man. You know, come on, man. Strictly Business was dope, and then they come right back with Business as Usual. That shit was stupid, man. So what you're saying is like one of my
business.
Unfinished business. Yeah, my bad. Unfinished
Big
business.
payback.
Yeah, big payback.
Shit,
all that.
yo, you want to talk about, my favorite joint may be Give the People What They Want, the remix. No, my bad. That's on the third album. My bad. That's the third album. My bad. But Get the Bozak?
Still don't.
Get the Bozak. Yeah. So another one is Life After Death. You know what I mean? I mean that it's a double album, and it was nothing but joints. I mean, it was one or two clunkers, but I mean the other joints on there I mean, you don't even think about, the joint with Cameron. You know what I'm saying? You don't even, at least that's not one of my favorites, but all the other joints, you know what I'm saying? Story to Tell, and, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I mean, the track list. I mean, Life After Death, man. It's Life After Going Back to Cali, all that shit, man. And then number one is, you already said it, Kel. It's like, this is my number 2 album of all time, right behind, and I'm on record as saying America's Most Wanted is my favorite hip hop album of all time, period. But the people that are responsible for, what I'm saying, America's Most Wanted is, what I mean, Bomb Squad. It takes a nation of millions to hold us back. Like, that's the best sophomore album of all time. It's my number 2. It's right behind America's Most. I mean, it's really a 1A, 1B type of situation. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the mood and the vibe at the time. So it's like, yeah, it takes a nation of millions, man. Hands down. Easy.
No doubt. You got me fishing through this unfinished business, John. And like, again, the liner notes. I missed that. Like being able to them showing on the Benz and on the Iraq John, and then even back in the day when you'd had a sleeping bag clothes, like people, again, the liner notes when you could buy you a sleeping bag.
Unfinished business. Unfinished business was crazy.
Yeah, just crazy album. JR, R&B Guru, what you got up for your hip hop stuff, man?
All right, so a lot of mine is Queens like yours, but I'm gonna start with Life After Death. With Big, like Trey said, it's a couple of joints that is like whatever, but Big did what he needed to do. It was written for sure because that was the first album I was actually listening to Nas in full. Before I listened to Illmatic, I had to go back and listen to Illmatic, but It Was Written is when I actually met Nas on, and like y'all said, that's kind of where you go to when you want to listen to Nas. Like, even though Halftime is my favorite Nas song, period, but if I want to listen to a Nas album, I go to It Was Written first.
Well, I'll say this. That's what open-minded people do.
Oh, you right.
Because trust me, most people will say Illmatic. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's sacrilegious. And again, I'll be the first to admit, if I didn't hear it the way I heard it, I probably would be like the rest of the Backpackers, because at that time the track masters were cancer. You know how niggas be like fuck cancer on Twitter?
Right.
That was how people felt about the track masters. So it literally I probably would have been in the same boat. Like, man, fuck that shit. But again, hearing it the way I heard it, and it's the difference between hearing things with what I like to call a naked ear. When you hear things with a naked ear and you don't know who produced it, you don't fall in love with the name, you don't fall in love, you just are able to listen to the music with a clear conscience and a clear mind with no biases. I told y'all a story when my man came over. He's a big Ninth Wonder fan, and niggas know I be having niggas beat tapes. So I'm like, yo, let me play you these Ninth beats. I'm playing the beats. He's like, yo, this nigga's the greatest of fucking all time. He's the fucking GOAT. I told you that nigga's the fucking GOAT. I'm like, nigga, he's my beats. He was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I was like, nah, I'm the GOAT, my nigga, right? I'm the greatest of all time. Because, and the thing was, he wasn't even listening to the beats. I mean, he was, but it was just like, when it was Ninth, it was, this is the greatest shit ever. I told you he's better than Primo. Then he finds out it's me, and it's like, they good. Yeah, I'll take 2, take 3. A minute ago, if I told you they was Ninth, you would have took all 14 of them. So that's what I mean by people aren't able to hear with an open ear and just listen to the music. They're influenced either in a good way by in a good way by the name, or in a bad way. You know what I mean? So, that's the sad part about, the track masters.
Next one is the Infamous. I mean, like y'all have said everything about the Infamous that needs to be said. Like that, if you don't like that album, something is wrong. After that, it's the Score.
I'm mad at that one.
The Fuji's the Score for me. I remember when Mom and Dad brought that home, and played it out. Like, we played it out from beginning to end. And it's crazy. I paid attention to Lauren. I think everybody did. But I paid attention to her and what she was doing on like how many mics and family business and Rod Digger on Cowboys. I think was it Cowboys, right? Yes, she's on Cowboys and all that. Like I was like, yo, who is this girl? And then I went back and listened to the first one. I was like, oh, thank God for the score, because we would have never got them. Like to be honest, so that and my number one is Low End Theory. That is my favorite sophomore album. It's actually in my top 5 hip hop albums of all time. I'm laughing about it because I know my dad is like, "Are you serious?" Because we battled with Midnight and Low End. That was our argument. That was the only time we argued about anything. Those two. He was like, "How the hell you like this?" Because he'd be like, "You don't like Scott Page. You lying." But I do. I do.
He said, "You lying. I don't know. I like that shit."
Right, he like, you don't like that shit. You just trying to argue, displaying your case at Low End. But yeah, I love Low End. So, you know, when I got the vinyl a couple of years ago, it was like great to me. So my number one sophomore hip hop album is Low End Theory. So.
All right, no doubt. Kel, Q Burrow, there's a lot of Queen stuff getting mentioned, so I'm sure you feeling good right now. What are your 5 joints, bro?
Well, my 5 are heavily Queens, except for 2. I mean, you guys mentioned most of them already. So, but my 5 is actually out of Brooklyn. It's a Big Daddy thing.
Not mad at that. That's on my list. I had a whole list of joints, and I just started putting the asterisk by it for the ones I wanted to pick. But It's a Big Daddy thing was definitely a dope, very dope sophomore album for Kane. Especially because Marley didn't produce it too, because it was like you seldomly get away from a producer Marley Marl's status that at that time was probably the dopest hip hop producer out.
No question.
To walk away from him and come back with It's a Big Daddy thing says a lot.
Absolutely. My number 4, LL, Bigger and Deffer.
Ooh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, L. I mean, hey, I'm Queen, so you know that's. This L being on the BM on the
Audi
on the Audi 5000 right. Andrew Jackson High School right now. I'm speaking from my house. Yeah, I'm bad. You know, Rock Bells. I mean, come on, that's my joint.
Bro, let me tell a quick story about Bigger and Deffer.
Yeah.
I got it from the mall, listening to it. My next door neighbor Wayne was like the Debo of our neighborhood. So he was like, "Yo, let me hold that shit," and I was like, "Fuck, okay." I was like, "But yo, you gonna give it back, right?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna give your shit back, little nigga. Like, just give me that shit." So he took it home that night. Now keep in mind, I just brought this shit. I only listened to it once. Then that nigga was like, give me that shit," and I'm like, "All right." Yo, I woke up at like 7 a.m. the next night, and I was just like running through my routine, like how I'm gonna do this, what I'm gonna say if he do this, how I'm gonna react. Yo, I knocked on his nigga door at 8 a.m. I don't know how he ain't beat my ass for knocking on his door at 8 in the fucking morning, but he actually gave me the shit back. It was the craziest thing ever. It's like I woke the nigga up and he gave it back to me. It was fucking amazing to me. But I was really literally going to fight Debo over that record. That's how important LL's Bigger and Deffer was, that I was like, I'm just gonna have to take the L, but nigga, I gotta get that album back. That's how much Bigger and Deffer meant to me. So that's a very dope thing.
I can respect that. My 3rd, you guys already mentioned it, Infamous. I mean, what else is it to say? Come on. It's 5 mics, it's a soundtrack to most of our era, you know, so.
I'll say this about the Infamous too. Another Queens representative, Tip doesn't get enough props for what he did for that album.
No doubt.
Temperatures Rising, This Step, and Drink Away the Pain. Like, Tip doesn't get enough props for what he did for that album.
No doubt. Number 2, you guys already said too. More Queens, Low End Theory. What else is it said, you know? I like Midnight better, but as Sophomore, obviously, it's, you know.
I like Midnight better too, but I mean, you can't go wrong with either one.
You can't go with either one, right? Exactly.
You can't go wrong with either one.
No, it's 1A1, you know, 1A1.
Right.
And then number 1 for me, you guys mentioned Trey, you said it already. Takes a Nation of Millions. It's my favorite album of any genre.
That's how I feel about it. It's my favorite album of any genre.
Rebel Out of Pause is my favorite song ever in hip hop. It's my favorite song. So, AP, Kill, I know how you feel about Chuck. So I mean, Public Enemy, same thing for me. This, I can't say enough about it.
There was a time in Philly, every car riding down the street was playing Rebel Without a Pause. And we all thought the name of it was Terminator X. Niggas was calling the radio station like, yo, let me hear Terminator X. Like, nobody knew it was called Rebel Without a Pause until you brought the 12-inch for You're Gonna Get Yours. And it was the B side on that. And it was one of the reasons I didn't like Yo Bum Rush the Show at first, because I brought Yo Bum Rush the Show thinking that it was gonna be on that album. So I'm like going through all the songs. I'm like, yo, where the fuck is the Terminator X song? So it wasn't until I was able to get It Takes a Nation, then go back and listen to, Yo Bum Rush the Show with like an open mind, because it's like you go into a spot to get something to eat that's you think on the menu, and then it ain't on the menu. You're like, man, fuck this spot. Like, yo, this shit whack. But you ain't even really give it a chance. It was just what you wanted wasn't on the menu. So, but yeah, Terminator, Rebel, I'm about to call it Terminator X now. Rebel Without a Pause, definitely one of the dopest songs of all time, and really started that whole era of that loud noise. You know what I'm saying? Like that loud noise of production era of, that Marley went on to use, would set it off, and then like them loud, piercing noises and everything like that. So, like Trey said, all Bomb Squad, man, all Bomb Squad. DJ Rec One, what you got, man?
Hey, quick caveat, man. I have a playlist in my car when I want to piss people off of just loud shit. King of Rock is on it. Rebel Without a Pause is on it. Like, you're absolutely right. That shit is, it makes you want to either fuck somebody up or get a speeding ticket.
Right.
Right. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. So
it's funny you say get a speeding ticket, right? Because one of my peoples, King James, who he just dropped the EP with, I was sending him some more beats for the album, and nigga was like, "Yo, I got a speeding ticket the other night, bro." I'm like, "Damn, that's fucked up." But you know what? I'm glad you did get a speeding ticket listening to my beats, because the beat was so fucking crazy. You wasn't paying attention to the fucking speed. Sorry, but that's a great compliment as a producer to be like, "Yo, I got a speeding ticket listening to your beat tape." So
he said that on the Spaces that night.
Yeah. And he got a speeding ticket listening to it, man.
Wow, that's crazy. So we running through basically our hip hop side, right?
Yeah, your hip hop side, and then end it with your number one.
All right, bet. So first one I'm gonna run with Gangstar, Step in the Arena. That's one of the first albums I bought. 91.
Just to Get a Rep is my favorite Gangstar song ever.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna go with. I got a toss up in here. I'm going with the Clips, man. Hell Have No Fury. I bought that album and did not know what to expect. I bought it as a Clips fan.
That's right.
That CD stayed in my car for a very long time. Probably damn near until I might have sold that car. Like that's
the first time I heard the Wham Wham. Oh yeah,
Wham Wham.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
God.
And that was the first time I was hearing my man from Texas. Forget the dude's name, man. He's down with
I know you talking about.
Slim Thug.
Slim Thug.
Yes. Slim Thug.
Yes. I was like, okay, I see they working on something different. But yeah, that Hell Have No Fury, insane album. It's a sleeper, man. This album snuck in my rotation my junior year of high school, man. De La Soul is dead.
Yeah,
27 songs, skits and all. Dope album. Oodles of O's. Jam Name Saturday. Millie Pulled a Pistol.
Yo, Biddy's in the BK Lounge, man. Biddy's in the BK Lounge, and Ring 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 is one of my favorite songs.
Oh yeah, ever. Ring 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 is fire.
Just crazy.
Dope album. It was something somebody gave me, and I was pleasantly surprised. So let's see. Now is where my toss up comes. Common, Resurrection. Album has not left my rotation since I was a sophomore in high school. I listened to that album honestly probably more than I do anything. Like I'll go back to it mainly because of from the DJ aspect. That's the first time I heard somebody cut like that outside of DJ scratch on an album, and the executioners do not get any credit for the work that they did on those cuts and scratches.
And that was Rob Swift, right?
That was Rob Swift, and that was the other dude. I forget his name.
Rock Raider.
Rock
right?
Raider. I'm not talking about
Rock
Rock Raider, but Mr. Sinister.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Sinister. He did the cuts for Watermelon. And from a DJ standpoint, you have to understand what he's doing. It sounds simple, but it's not. It's not. It is not simple. But I love that album front to back. I do not skip through any song on there. So, like, me and my boys, we got a joke, and the joke is all based around Another Wasted Night. Skip. You just got to understand. So, number one joint, I gotta take it home, man. Redman, there is a dark side. There is a dark side, and Redman got it, man. I can't wait. You got to understand, man. Junior in high school. No, I was a sophomore, and I used to make the mixtapes for us to come out to. Bro, you don't understand the amount of goosebumps I have right now reminiscing on coming out to Can't Wait. Like, and knowing I'm about to go drop 60 on somebody's neck. And I got this Redman and I'm juiced up. Like, that album was probably a battery in my back like no other. And from front to back. And Redman says he hates that album. He says he hates it. He doesn't even remember recording the album because he was so zooted or whatever. But that album, to me, man, that's my number one sophomore album.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, Rec, the De La Soul, sorry, Kel. De La Soul's Dead and There's a Dark Side. I had to listen to, when they came out, I didn't like either one of those albums. Back in the day. Both of them.
Wow.
Yeah. But I listened to them this year again, and I was like, you know what? I don't know. I might not have been mature enough to listen to it. I don't know. But
Understood.
I love both those albums.
Yeah, no, there's both albums that I didn't listen to, and I gravitated to.
They were on a different level, I think, than I was on. So that's what I was thinking.
And both of those albums are probably, definitely the Redman. There's a Dark Side. It's my favorite Redman album. Period.
So it's crazy. Between that and Muddy Waters for me. Like, that whole time period. Like, I can play those two back to back and be cool. You know what I'm saying? So,
Kel, I don't know about you, but I remember it came out and GNU was over my crib. He was like, "Yo, Kel, you smoke?" I was like, "Nah." He was like, "Well, they do. That's why you don't like it." He was like, "We ain't got to debate. We ain't got to do nothing." And it was just like that cut and dry. I was like, "If you don't smoke, then I understand why you don't like it." And it was like, okay, we just move right on to another topic. And at Morgan, we ain't move on to another topic. Niggas would argue all fucking night. Right. So, but it was that cut and dry. I was like, if you don't smoke, don't worry about it, Kill. That's why you don't understand.
Wow.
So, just kept it going.
I was talking to GNU earlier today, but I have to bring that up to them. That was funny.
Yeah, hilarious, man. Anytime I talk to GNU, I talk about that. Porsche, the first time in ever that you have not gone first.
It's good. I like listening. So I tried to switch it up. I realized, like, as you guys were talking, I had literally all of the same albums that you guys had. So just to switch it up, and as a disclaimer, like, I love a lot of sophomore albums. So the ones that I didn't mention in this, I put in my slept on joint. So I have my first one to mention is ATLians. I just think that Southern Playalistic is dope as hell. Obviously can't take away the debut from Outkast, but for me, ATLians was sort of the it was that innovation and the personality and really the direction of Outkast that shined through that album. I feel like Southern Playalistic was still a little bit conservative for what we would get afterwards. So for me, ATLians is just that album. It's yes, oh my god, such a dope album. Album art is amazing. The beats, just everything about it is so conceptual. It's so well executed. I don't think anybody could have done with that concept what Outkast did. So that's definitely on my list. Necessary. Boogie Down, and I think KRS is stellar. We know that. There's not really much to say. I mean, it's KRS-One and all his lyrical and consistent and amazingness. Again, we get it on By All Means Necessary. I absolutely love that album. Death Certificate is my favorite Ice Cube's joint. And really it's because of how unapologetically himself he was. It was controversial. He didn't care. It tackled every single subject or like topic, I guess, that sort of infuriated Ice Cube. And he didn't give a shit. Like he just went at it, and I love that. I think that's why people love it so much as well, is because, I mean, there's a lot that goes along with that historically with the LA riots and all of that kind of stuff. And I think if it's any MC out of LA that's going to do that, Ice Cube was the one. And I love that he kind of has that stamp there. And then It Was Written. I couldn't not say that one because, again, the message has my favorite quote in all of the English language in it. I use it almost daily. I use it at work. I love Nas for that album.
Of course, and you know, I'm gonna always ask you this. So you're on the phone with a client, and you just be like, you know what, my nigga, because love change. Like, how do you use this at work? Are you like in a meeting, like, nigga? What you don't understand is a thug changes, and best friends become strangers. Word life, like.
It's really.
I need to know how you, like, when you're talking to a client, do you say word life at the end, or you just end with?
I don't.
Okay.
Honestly, it's when people are talking about like struggles, or you know, it's kind of the small talk, and it's kind of heavy for small talk, but we have quite a rapport with our customers because they're all repeat clients, but. Yeah, so they'll just be like, you know, I'm having a rough day, like nothing's going right, and I'm like, you know what, and they're kind of like, you know, they kind of put it on Front Street, like, you know, they're beefing with this person, they're beefing with that person, and you know, now it's a business situation gone sour, and there it goes. You know, a thug.
No, I want to role play this. I want to role play this. I want to role play this. So, I want to role play this. So, like, I'm on the phone with you, and I'm like, yo, boy, me and this nigga Rel is arguing. You don't want to sell the kind of coffee I want. And Rel's like, yo, fuck you. You know, Starbucks nigga all day, and I'm like, nah, my nigga, Java Hut over here. You know, going up game time. And then what do you say?
No. I'll explain one situation. So we had a customer come in. And I'm sorry I'm taking up the time of the show.
No, I want to hear how you use this quote.
So we had a client come in to purchase some things, and our purchases are not small. They're going to be upwards of $56,000 or more. So it's quite an investment. And this guy was like, you know, I'm so sorry. Like I had to redo all of my banking and all of this stuff. And we were like, oh no, like we're so sorry to hear that. It's okay. Like, you know, whatever. And then he's like, yeah, it's just. When you can't do business with people you thought were your friends for so long, and we've had 3 businesses prior, and then all of a sudden this guy decides to like up and leave and you know, screw us over and change all like get the signatures off of, you know, like just a mess at the bank. And he's like, you know, you just don't know people. And I was like, yeah, you know, like Nas says in the message on It Was Written, I'm like, a thug changes, a love changes, and best friends become strangers. Like, that's just the
you gotta do word life, but you gotta say word life.
I can't do it.
The next time you gotta end it with word life. Like, nigga. Okay? No. Don't stress that shit, my nigga. Niggas ain't, niggas play sometimes, yo.
I would never say that. Stop. Yeah, so that's how I kind of, you know, it's situations like that, and it happens more often than you guys think. So It Was Written, and then my number one hip-hop album, Sophomore album of all time. And again, if somebody asks me what's the best hip-hop album of all time, this is what I'm going to say. It's different from my favorite, but it takes a nation of millions. And again, just listening to everybody here just talking about it, what I love about It Takes a Nation is everyone has their own reason for loving it, and it's never going to be the same, or often won't be the same. And whether it's the beats, whether it's the energy, whether it's the subject matter, whether it's like, you know, the time that it dropped and what it kind of encompassed and addressed at the time, and nobody else was kind of doing it the same way. I just think that album is the most important album for hip hop. I think that it's a blueprint for, you know, upcoming albums that address similar things, because we know that these historical situations sort of repeat themselves. It just happens in future years. So it will always be a relevant album. It'll always be a reference album. And for that, it is the absolute best and most important hip hop album to me.
No doubt. Let's talk about some slept on joints. I got a million. I'm going to try to keep it to 5. Number 1, I'll come to my number 1. I'm going to say, Trey, you may rock with me on this. A lot of people may not have heard it. I don't like bringing up this nigga's name anymore, but What's My Name by Steady B. His sophomore album was, was just crazy to me. Just everything on in my Benz. And that may just been a Philly staple, but definitely that's one. Another slept on album, Escape by Houdini. I'm talking 5 Minutes of Funk. I'm talking Friends. I'm talking Big Mouth. The Freaks Come Out at Night. Album people sleep on, Legal by Special Ed. That second Special Ed album was very dope. And nobody talks about that Legal joint.
I wish you would. That joint was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Legal was very dope. A lot of people don't like this joint. A lot of people haven't heard this joint. Craig G's second album. Now that's more like it. You know what I'm saying? Holds a special place in my heart. It was one of the albums I played all the time when I was learning how to drive. So I listened to it all the time. I love the first single, Girl, You Know You're Not It. You're Not the One. That was the name of it. And I think now that's more like it. Yo, that was my shit.
That was a choice.
Molly did that. It was the same dudes who was singing on Around the Way Girl. It had that Around the Way Girl feel to it. And to me, just the whole title, that's more like it. For people who don't know, Craig G's first album, The Kingpin, was really hip hop house. Like it was almost like 90% hip hop house. And I think the only thing that was on it was, I think, a joint called the Dopest Duo that was like really what we expected from Craig. So I think that's why the name of it was Now That's More Like It, because it was more hip hop. Niggas for Life by NWA. People act like that album just wasn't shit. I love Niggas for Life. I actually like it better than Straight Outta Compton. To me, that's my favorite produced Dre album. Just the production on there is just crazy. My number 1 slept on hip hop album of all time is Done by the Forces of Nature by the Jungle Brothers. People really be out here acting like the JBs ain't do shit. They had Girl I House You. Yo, Straight Out the Motherfucking Jungle is a top 10 hip hop album ever for me. I will listen to Straight Out the Jungle before I listen to Illmatic. I will listen to Straight Out the Jungle before I listen to anything that came out post 1990. That's how much I love that album. And Done by the Forces of Nature was just a follow-up that was just crazy. And it kills me that the JBs just don't get any love when it comes to the whole native tongue movement. And I'll throw in one more, Pure Poverty by Poor Righteous Teachers. Very slept on sophomore album too. Fuck it, I'm gonna do a portion, keep going. Firing Squad by MOP. You know what I mean? People front on that. We talking Brownsville, New Jack City. That's the shit that made me an MOP fan. And I always tell people, it's like Rel said with People's Instinctives. I fucked with Tribe, but I wasn't a fan. See, we grew up in a time where there was so much hip hop. You couldn't have been a fan of everybody. Like, I liked King Just, but I wasn't a fan. I liked King's Son and the K9 Posse and 783 and all these niggas. They were cool, but I wasn't a fan. Like, MOP's first album was cool, but when Firing Squad came out, nigga, that's when I became a fan. A Day in the Life by Kwame. Nobody likes that album. I thought the album was a genius. 5 Mics, Only You. Very crazy album. Rel, give me some slept on sophomore albums, man. You're muted, bro.
All right, I got Lab Cabin, California.
Lab Cabin, California. Far
Side drum, man.
Dilla all day.
Yeah, all over that. And you got some classics on that drum, man.
Yes,
and that, I messed with the Far Side before that, but that album right there, like, you know what I'm saying, really, stamped him as, somebody I've messed with. Hell Have No Fury, it was already mentioned. And, as a Clips fan, like, that album, man, you mentioned Wamp Wamp and, oh, man, that album, man, I don't got no skips on that job, man.
I gotta say, man, fucking Ride Around Shining.
Around Shining, yeah. Oh, Keys Open Doors.
Yes.
It's my favorite song on that joint. That's just I don't know.
It's so many quotables.
Pharrell produced Keys Open Doors.
Yo, Pharrell. This is what makes me
Yeah.
love Pharrell even more. That Pharrell is able to go into this bag. That this is the same person who could make Happy and fucking Change Clothes and all that shit, but then turn around and make Grindin' and Wamp Wamp and fucking Mama, I'm So Sorry. Like, yo, bro.
And I really want to know about the drums on Wamp Wamp. Are those programmed or like who did that? Like,
I want to say it's a sample, but knowing Pharrell, who the fuck knows? Pharrell may have had a whole fucking cat, whatever those drums are that
because it's congos and all types of drums.
Pharrell would tell you it was Chad. Pharrell would tell you
Bro, the first time I heard Wham Wham, I was like, Wham Wham was one of I had to call my man Jace like, yo, nigga, you gotta hear this Wham Wham like now. Like, not now, but right now. So yeah, crazy album.
I had niggas for
the
life.
fact that they on the fucking stove. Like, these niggas are sitting on the stove. like when you really think about it, like, yo, even when niggas sitting on the fucking bench, these niggas are sitting on the fucking stove. This nigga is sitting on the stove, door is open, and you're sitting on it. Like, yo, bro, come on.
It's funny, I ran into Ab Lava.
Ooh, God, don't even talk about the re-up gang. Don't even talk about the mixtapes. Don't even talk about the mixtapes.
And he told me that John was gonna be crazy. He was like, "Wait till you hear it. He's gonna be crazy." Cause I ran into him in the club one time, right before it came out, and he told me it was gonna be crazy. I had Niggas for Life as well. It's like history didn't do that album justice. Like it get looked at like they just like you got Straight Outta Compton and then they fell off. Like that's like false. That's very false. Like there's some heat on that album. And Supreme Clientele,
that's in mine.
Ghostface John, man, that was crazy. That you know what I'm saying? Like that was probably the album that started making like Ghostface like people's favorite from the Wu. You know what I'm saying? Ray was always my favorite, but like when that came out, like that's when people started really like, you know what I'm saying? Because Iron Man was fire, but you know when Supreme Clientele came out, it was just like, yo, people started going crazy. So
I think it was that too, and that was the first sophomore solo album out the Wu that was banging. You know what I mean? Like everybody else, kind of Immobilarity. You know, everybody's second joint out the Wu wasn't. You know what I mean? So when you pop that shit in and you hear that Tony Stark skit and the Iron Man, and then they go into that shit, oh my God, they going into one and yeah, you know what I mean? So I think that also was the thing too. It's like, good God, like Ghost just kept it going, and then Bulletproof Wild, like he just kept going.
He found a good formula. Yeah, he found a good formula for his music. You know what I'm saying on that album. Like I heard Apollo Kid. The first song I heard off of there was Apollo Kids, and then Mighty Healthy. And I'm just like, yo, when I heard those two songs, you hear those two, and you like, this album might be 5 mics off of what I just heard. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's how it's gonna be, it might be 5 mics.
Don't even get me started on shit sharing like Ghost. Don't that joint?
I mean, you know that still get played in the club now. You know, when that comes on.
Banger 101.
Yeah. What was the one with the weird beat? Was it Stroke of Death or something like that? Where they keep pulling the
pulling back.
Pulling the record back. Yeah. That album was crazy. And then my last one is an album a lot of people that I know didn't like, but I liked it. And that was Razcat's second album. You know what I'm saying? Like he got, you know, the beat.
Which one was that? What was that?
Rassassination. It was Rassassination. He had like Dr. Dre and stuff on there. It ain't really get the publicity it should. It's some really good songs. I mean, the lyrics are always gonna be there. There's some really good songs on there. Like, you know, a lot of people didn't mess with it, but I did. So that's my 5.
Nice.
All right, no doubt. Trey, what you got for some stuff on joints?
I mean, y'all kind of covered the basis on a lot of them, John. Like, there's the Dark Side, Bad, you know, the Number Butterfly, but that's not really slept on. That De La Soul is Dead is crazy. Like that, I love that joint. But I'm gonna focus on really one. But I'll name one. first, and then we'll focus on the other one. So, one I have is Dr. Dre, The Chronic 2001. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good
That
one.
joint right there, you know what I'm saying? He took a minute, you know what I mean, after The Chronic, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, he dropped this joint, and it was just like the production, again, it's Dr. Dre. The production on this album, I can't say enough about it, man. You put them beats on right now, man, it's like, I'd rather fuck you, I mean, like the next episode, I mean, the production is just bananas. It's bananas. And it's only Dr. Dre that can give you that nice, hard but crisp sound. Like he got the patent on that, man. It's like nobody else production sounds like his. This shit is, you know, he's cheating. He's cheating. That's what he's doing. He's cheating. So, but the one I want to really concentrate on is Cool G Rap, Wanted Dead or Alive.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Nice.
Listen, man.
Very nice.
Listen. This guy right here is okay. For anybody that knows me, he's clearly in my, you know, top 3 MCs. You know what I'm saying?
Top three. I agree.
You know what I mean? Clearly, it's not even a discussion for me. He is the father. He's the father of the styles that you hear today, the multi-syllables and all of that. He's the father of that. He birthed that. So when you start talking about streets in New York, when you start talking about One Better Alive, when you start talking about Money in the Bank, when you start talking about Bad to the Bone, Talk Like
Sex.
Come on, man. Come on,
Bro,
man.
Talk Like Sex.
Racism.
Bro, Talk Like Sex taught me about sex. Like that was my
Come on,
sex
man.
education, bro. Like that was it right
That's
there.
another good.
You must have been a wild young boy, kid.
Yo, I'm not gonna hold you. It was like I'm going to my OG, like, yo, what is this? Yo, what is this?
Yo.
Like,
That man
was not ready for Talk Like Sex, man. Yo,
That
I
man
joke with people all the time about Criminal Minded with Super Bowl when he's like, yo, get Vaseline. I'm like, what you need Vaseline for? What, a lips check? Like, I'm 12 when Super Bowl came out. So I didn't know nothing about no Vaseline.
Yo, that man said I'll bust a nut and get up and wipe my dick on your shirt.
Hey, Trey, this
He raps
you
raw,
got is
man.
the
He
things
was
I had
raw.
when I heard it as
Raw.
a kid. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't know what he was talking about, but I was like, it don't sound good. It
I'll
sound
bust a
crazy.
nut, get up and wipe my dick on your curtain. Like, yo, come on, man. I heard that, man. I was like, I'm done, man. You know what I mean? And come on, man. Def Wick, Job Talk, the Polo Club, Rikers Island, man.
But bro,
This
even
sophomore
after that, he hit you with the erase the racism.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Against the racism. Yeah, he bust. He like the dick. It's like a contradictory thing here. It's like
It's like,
What's
yeah, I wipe my
up,
dick
boy?
on your
Like,
curtains, but hey, stop with the racism. We can't have that. Yo, we gotta stop with that stuff, bro.
Hey, that's crazy. KRS did the same thing, though. Come on now, Super Ho, and then you know the
Yep.
But you know what?
those artists
But,
had substance and could do that.
Exactly. I was gonna say
Yeah,
the 80s,
yeah.
a lot of artists was doing that. Kane.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and even with KRS, when we think about it, like Jimmy, like this is talking about practicing safe sex. Like, you know, it's like, yo, you gotta get your Jimmy hat. Like the fact that you have a whole song just about practicing safe sex, and it's not corny. It wasn't like no Salt and Pepper Talk Like Sex. Like Jimmy was the shit.
Right. And apology, of course, for the foul language. I'm sorry. You know.
Oh.
But yes. Nah, man. Come on, man. Wanted Dead or Alive, man. I'll end it on that, man. That sophomore album, very slept on.
Crazy. JR, what you got for some of your slept on joints?
I didn't have any.
Okay,
honestly.
well, you know what? That's no problem. I will take some of yours. I would like to say one that I know everybody's not finished with, but straight up suicide, Das Effects. I know
Nice.
most people think that was
Oh
horrible,
yeah.
but
No,
lyrically,
That was a good album.
yo,
That was a good album.
Dre's
That's a good album.
and Books lyrically stopped all that diggity shit and was coming with straight fucking bars. Now, I won't hold y'all. The beats weren't that great, which is another testament to why I love it so much. Because y'all know if the beats ain't good for me, I tune you out. So the fact that I still was in it, yo, them niggas underground rapper, you know, give me that microphone. Like, yo these
give me that microphone was fire.
My God. Like, and again, I get it. The beats weren't dope, but if you take the chance to really to say like, yo, they got off all that diggity iggity shit and just straight went to bar work. My God, that straight up suicide is crazy. And I'm Desire, Foul Mancha's second album, Desire. Nobody talks about that. But, and I know everybody's not finished, so I'm gonna wait because there's a sophomore album I haven't heard yet. So before I say it, I want to give everybody opportunity to say that joint. Kel, what you got for some stuff going on?
Hopefully I'll say what you're about to say. I got I'm gonna go back to Queens first though. I got Onyx. What we got is us.
Nice.
Ooh, with the last days.
Last days.
Oh my God.
I like it better than Back the Fuck Up actually. I like that one better than Back the Fuck Up. That's my joint.
Yo, Last Days, man,
Last
that
Days.
Literally may be one of the hardest. I never understood what Fredro said, sexy niggas get abducted. I always was like, okay. So only sexy niggas get robbed.
Who's determining?
Yo, chill, my nigga. That's the sexy one right there in the blue. And it's so funny because I swear I'm the only nigga who got up on that because bad niggas will be able to like, yo, sexy niggas get abducted. I'm like, whoa, slow the fuck down. Whoa. Sexy niggas get abducted? Like, really? Okay, cool. Like, we just gonna skate over this nigga said sexy niggas get abducted. Nobody cancel me. I'm on down with LGBT. Nobody cancel me.
It's in there. Hey,
it's a whole different time. If you want to be sexy, be sexy. Rob sexy people. I don't want no smoke with y'all. I don't want none. I'm not Dave Chappelle. I'm not rich. I don't get 20 million like Dave. So do not cancel me. I'm just trying to get started in my career. So, but yes, 1995, I was very much like sexy niggas get up. Okay. And we just gonna let that shit slide and just go right on the, just keep on spinning.
It has slid. It has made it.
Oh man, that's funny.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, really? Because I'm with you. Who, bro, did you say that? Like, how do we make this? Are we about to rob somebody? So I'm like, bro, who's sexy? Which one? Like, okay.
The nigga,
like,
the nigga with the green eye.
What conversation was this? What just happened to we gonna rob the nigga with the most gold on him? We gonna rob the nigga with the Benz? Like, no, he ain't sexy enough, my nigga. He's not sexy enough to be able to sexy, but he's not. So we're not gonna rob him because he ain't sexy enough.
Man.
Like, I'm getting great. Like, I'm too sexy. Like, what? Okay. Very dope song, but there's a very questionable lyric right there that nobody ever fucking questioned. Kel, nobody ever questioned that shit.
Ever. I don't even. I can't remember. I can't remember that rhyme. I can't remember that lyric. I gotta go listen to it again.
It's about 8 to 12 bars before the hook. They drop everything out on the mix so you hear it too.
That's
I ain't heard nobody on God Brewer talking about it, nothing like that. You ain't heard nobody down the way talking about it.
Right.
You ain't heard nobody out there talking about it.
Never.
You just skated right over that. Like,
I got one. Go ahead, man.
You think of MOP and Annie Up? It was just, we robbing everybody. They're
Right.
discriminating. You're robbing sexy, ugly, and everything in between. Like, we are robbing everybody. Like, nobody gets over. So the good thing was, if you was in Queens and you was an ugly nigga, you were not going to get robbed by us, which is a positive. All the ugly niggas were safe in Queens. Now, if you were sexy, keep your ass in Brooklyn. Don't come to Queens. If you're sexy, you're done.
Oh my God.
You're done. I'm sorry, Kel.
Alright. So I wanted, when you told me about the topic, I want a shirt just for the next two artists on the slept on list. OC, Jules.
Ooh.
That was just what you on point.
Very dope pick. Very dope pick.
That's my world. Flex. I remember played that joint about 2 hours straight when it first drop. He just kept on rewinding, dropping bombs. I mean, that was just the truth. That album was dope.
Funny thing, when OC came through, he said Primo hated that beat.
What?
When OC, when we had him on, he said, "Yo, Primo hated my world. He hated that beat."
Crazy. Oh man. Yeah. Yo, that whistling sound, whatever. I mean, yo, that was the truth. J-Ru, Wrapped in My Math.
Nice.
I always thought that. I think Puff shut that album down after him dissing Big and stuff. I always thought that it just didn't. You know, you play yourself got off and played a little bit. I thought he shut that album down as far as like. I mean, obviously it's not Sunrise in the East, but it was still a dope album.
Why am I not surprised that Puffy's name is weaved somewhere in the downfall of an album?
Okay, right.
You know,
why am I not surprised?
And again, I'm not letting Puff off the hook because I'm sure he did. But also at that time, Kel, that was when that split in hip hop came.
Yeah.
When it was when people were like, because I know a lot of people was like, yo, I didn't fuck with De La Stakes Is High in the J-Wu joint because they was dissing, you know, the party.
They're
stuff.
partying, right?
You know, so that's when the split came. Because from '92 to about that time, if you loved hip hop, we agreed on everything. You know, and that was the split to me came when that Hard Knock Life album came and Swiss really came. Because I remember Roots being like, yo, Swiss is the next thing, and me, Sean Beazle being like, yo, this shit whack. Like, you know, to this day, I still don't like that Hard Knock Life album, you know, production wise, you know. But I think that split came, and there's so many hip hop heads who I know who are like, oh, I know hip hop heads who are like, yo, I never heard Big's second album. Like, dead ass, because they was like, we wasn't fucking with that party music. I didn't hear Foxy's first album. I didn't hear none of that shit. And then you have a lot of other heads. It's like, yo, I never heard that J-Ru. I never heard that De La Stakes Is High because they was dissing, you know, that type stuff. So, but yeah, Rap of My Math was a dope album. Definitely a dope album.
One day we're going to talk about why Kill always defends Puff when he comes up on this show.
He does. He does. Yeah, he does.
Thank you.
I'm on record. I defended Puff 2 times in the history of this podcast.
Okay.
I've defended him twice. And again, it's like I told you.
And once on Spaces.
Yeah, so, and that's the one's here and one's on Spaces. I'm just like, y'all know the joke with the devil sitting outside the church crying, and you come up like, why are you crying? And they like, they in there blaming everything on me. Like, we can blame almost everything on Puff, but there are 1 or 2 times when maybe it ain't all his fault. Like, we can blame the bulk of what goes wrong in our life on the devil, but then sometimes we just made some fucked up decisions, and then we want to be like, oh, the devil trying me. No, nigga, you decided to go fucking party all week in the Bahamas and not pay your rent. The devil ain't have shit to do with that. You can't be like, oh, the devil got me evicted. No, nigga, you got yourself evicted. So, again, I'm not defending Puff. I'm just saying, you know, read your contracts, everybody. Talk to Trey, give Trey a call, have somebody read your contract. You cannot blame Puff for niggas who are, you can't, hey, Puff wasn't the first grade teacher who didn't teach you how to read and you cut class. Blame that on Miss Moss and keep it moving. Like, Puff can't be blamed for everything. That's all I'm saying. Like, 99% of the times, asshole, blame them, but that 1%, you know, we gotta take accountability for ourselves. But dope pick. Rack, what you got for Slept On?
I got two more.
Oh, you got 2 more, because I'm like, I still haven't heard this joint that I'm waiting for.
Organized Confusion, Stress.
Okay.
And then I'll give you 1 more. My last one is Jizza, Liquid Swords.
Yeah.
Everybody forgets that he was on Chillin', you know, for the first album, but Liquid Swords second.
Yep. All right, DJ Rack 1. I still have not heard this. Are you gonna say it, Rack?
Most likely not.
Probably not, nigga.
So everybody is pretty much chimed in on the majority of the ones I had. I had Lab Cap in California, Supreme Clientele. But the other 2 that I'm gonna add to it, actually, 2. I'm gonna add Goody Bob Still Standing, Black Ice, and They Don't Dance No More. And then an album that honestly, man, I've been banging the majority of this week, just from a sound check standpoint. King of Rock.
Oh,
yes.
So I was what, 6 when that album came out. So of course I didn't get to hear it in how it sounded at that time. But man, this thing was crazy. I was sitting there like, okay.
Yo. And Craig, can you rock it like this, bro? Let me say, for somebody who was outside, yo, my favorite Run DMC song may be Daryl and Joe, off of King of Rock.
Oh, that's the shit.
Like Daryl and Joe could literally be my favorite Run DMC song.
Wow.
Run DMC has one of the greatest trilogies of all time. Run DMC, King of Rock, and then Raising Hell. Yeah. Come on, man. That trilogy is man. Nobody mentions that though. That trilogy is crazy. That trilogy is crazy.
But you know what's crazy, Trey? I think why people don't mention it. Like I can sit and tell you, hey, I was not outside except for going to kindergarten, but I know enough to go back and say, let me listen to this. Most people ain't gonna do that. They ain't gonna do that. And I'm trying to do a sound check. I'm trying to do a sound check to get my little station up and running. Ain't nobody gonna do that. I could have listened to anything I wanted to, but I say, you know what? Let me take it back. I'm not in that era right now. Let me listen to some music that I know I'm not necessarily, well versed in from a standpoint of knowing the songs like I know these other songs.
Well,
see, my generation would know that. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. So I was like 13, 14, 15 years old when them joints came out. You know what I mean? So
crazy.
Yeah.
And people don't talk about how Will and Jeff bit the album cover. Because the OG cover for Rock the House was them doing the same cover of Run DMC's King of Rock, and then they eventually changed it to the one that was released now. But the first the first cover was them looking just like the King of Rock album cover. Porsche, what you got for yours?
Yep. Okay, I've got 6. Am I allowed to do 6?
22, so yeah, knock yourself out.
Am I allowed to do 6?
Kill always gets on me for shoving like 15 in a top 5, so I had to check. Anyways, I'm gonna start with MC Light's Eyes on This. You guys know I love MC Light. She's on my top MCs of all time. She's on my top 10 list, and I just think she's phenomenal. Her debut album was great. Eyes on This was the perfect follow-up. It just gave us all of her cha-cha-cha cappuccino.
Shit, I Am the Light, when she used that break that Diamond used before Diamond used it for Best Kept Secret. I Am the Light is crazy.
She just gave us everything we loved about her debut, and she just extended that to her sophomore joint. And Light is constantly reminding people at the time that she cannot be messed with. Like, she is going to hold her own, and she is going to be just as good as the male counterparts, and I love her for that. So Eyes on This, and then I've got Follow the Leader, Eric B. and Rakim. Microphone Fiend is one of my favorite songs ever.
One of my favorite hip hop joints ever.
Right? Like, it's just so dope. And Eric B. and Rakim, I mean, you paid in full, and then they followed up with Follow Leader. Like, I think that was it's not obviously not at the exact same caliber, but it is very, very good. It definitely stands up against the debut, and I think that it doesn't get mentioned. The reason it's on my slept on is because I feel like everyone's go-to is Paid in Full, and then it's sort of like they don't do anything else. Whereas Follow the Leader actually has Microphone Fiend, which is one of the greatest songs ever. So if you haven't spun it in a while, this is your reminder to go back and listen to it.
And don't forget lyrics of Fury.
Lyrics of Fury, yes.
The whole there's a lot on that. I just named 2.
Lyrics of Fury. That is my favorite joint on there. Lyrics of Fury is my shit.
Yo, the thing with Microphone Fiend, I want to say it's the first time I heard those sleigh bells that just became infamous in hip hop over the time. But I just remember that guitar lick and hearing them sleigh bells, and then at the end when it's just the drums, just a perfect, feed me hip hop, and I start after 12. I'm worse than a gremlin. Feed me hip hop. Oh my god! Like, I remember sitting by the radio just being like, yo, it can't get no better than
it. Can't get no better.
It can't get no better. I'm sorry, Porsche.
No. And then I've got DJ Quick's Way Too Funky album. DJ Quick is just slept on to me. His entire life is slept on. His discography is slept on.
His entire life.
Their whole existence is slept on.
I feel like
No, Portia, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Oh, guys, listen,
She's
I feel
right.
like
She's
I'm
right.
She's
the
right.
one that like goes to war.
This
for
is the way
DJ
she
Quick,
said it.
like all the time. Like I feel like I just have to. I am like his personal defense attorney in every.
I
single
told you, for
situation.
me, it was the perm. It was the goddamn perm. If that nigga would have put a hat on or some shit.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
I tried to
Uh-oh.
my win, but I
I knew it.
I know it.
No, but here's the
What?
thing, Bush. I listen to Quick. I listen
He brought
to
up
albums that you
Myron.
asked me to. I like the album. Like I said, at that time, it just was a perm. He had a perm, and I just wasn't ready for a perm. And again, West Coast niggas. Now, when I was out in LA, Vernon was explaining to me like, nah, Kill, if in '91, if you had a perm, that meant like you was the nigga. And I was like, well, that didn't mean that shit in Philly, because if in Philly you had a perm, it was like, nigga, you sexy niggas get abducted.
Okay, no.
You would have gotten abducted by fucking Fredro. Because you had a perm. So again,
I mean, Melly Mel had a perm too, though. Melly Mel had a perm.
let me tell you something, Trey. I'm gonna send you a clip because I sent it to everybody else because I saw a clip and I thought it was Jermaine Stewart. We don't have to take our clothes off.
Whoa.
Yeah, you remember that joint, right?
Yeah, he did look like
You don't
him.
have to.
He did. He
Now,
did.
for everybody who I sent the clip to,
Yeah.
when you first saw that nigga talking about check, step off, I thought that shit was Jermaine Stewart. I had no idea that was Melly Mel.
I had the
He
name
had to
right.
write the same
I'm gonna
word
send
and
you
all
the clip,
that.
Trey. I'm gonna send you the clip because I sent it to everybody who was on the show last week.
Mel had a perm.
And I
yeah.
guarantee
Melly Mel.
you, for a split second, you were gonna be like, "Damn, when did you? I never heard this Jermaine Stewart song. I don't know we have to take our clothes off. I didn't know about this one."
Oh man.
But yeah,
Okay, so
but all that to say, Porsche, I was wrong. I allowed a perm to stop me from listening to DJ Quick. I apologize. I admit when I'm wrong.
yeah,
It was a good album. It was a good album.
And DJ Quick's Way Too Funky is it's not gonna be it's kind of the in-between from his debut and then the third album. So it goes like amazing and then very good and then very dope. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that little dip, but it's still really good. And you still get that personality, the same West Coast kind of subject matter that you're gonna get. You know, hoes, pimps, that kind of thing, like cars, like all of that kind of stuff.
You know, whole
All that nigga shit.
Wow.
It's a regular nigga, West Coast nigga shit, but you know.
No, but anyways, it's very dope. I really like the production. I think that's where it kind of gets a little bit of critique is on the production side. But you guys know I'm not as hard on production as most of this panel is. So take that with a grain of salt. But for me, it's definitely slept on, and it's definitely needs to be mentioned. King T, another one. At your own
nice
risk.
one. Nice one.
Another one whose whole life is like slept on because
True.
nobody
Agreed.
mentions
Agreed. Absolutely.
and his album.
Come on, he fathered Biggie style, man. He fathered Biggie style.
There you go.
There's
There you
no
go.
alcoholics
They don't
without
wanna hear
King
that,
T.
Jake. You know they don't want to hear that.
To me,
yeah.
King T
Yeah,
is
but
reminiscent of how I
it's the
feel
truth.
about the Jungle Brothers.
Oh, I trust
It's
me. I'm a
like,
King T
nobody
fan.
talks about the Jungle Brothers. Nobody talks about King T.
Yeah, fact.
I got it bad, y'all.
He
King
fathered,
T,
he
nigga.
fathered Biggie style. He fathered his style. Period.
Yeah. So that King T album, and then I've got Tupac's Strictly album. That's the one with Holla If You Hear Me. The joint with Digital Underground, and then yeah.
My homie Paul.
Yeah. So that one again, Pac is just amazing, and I will mention him in any conversation. You guys already know. So yes, that's slept on. And again, I think it's because of the follow-up albums being so good. Like Pac is one of those artists that every release sort of outdoes the one before it. So then it becomes that topic. You know what I mean? So for me, I don't really hear people going back to Strictly that often unless they're picking out like certain tracks from it. But overall, it is a very dope joint. And then my absolute number one is The Main Ingredient.
I was fucking damn.
Porsche, there you go, Porsche. That's what I was waiting on. I was like, yo, how is nobody
I forgot about that.
going to
I did too.
the main ingredient? I was like,
I think I all sold out. That's why
I'm like, this is right there. The two arguments I hear the most is what is better, low end or midnight, or Mecca, a main ingredient. So I was like, somebody has got to name
You
it.
should have known it would have been me. That's
Porsche gets the tithes and offerings this week. You get the tithes and offerings this week.
and of course, like Kill said, it's honestly it's like a 1A, 1B situation. Pete Rock and CL are unstoppable in my opinion. CL Smooth is again generally underrated, sort of kind of looked over as an MC. But I think Main Ingredient is honestly like a hair below Mecca and the Soul Brother. But stellar album all the way through.
Man, what? In the flesh?
I Gotta Love. Oh my god, Killer! I knew Killer was gonna make fun of me for mentioning that, but I had to. Like, if CL and Pete Rock.
All you have to do. Here's the thing, y'all. Anybody who wants to get with Porsche, for all the people out there who want to get with Porsche, put love in your song. Make some type of song about love, and you may get a follow back. Because if there's love in the title, if you're talking about love, Porsche's gonna love it, and you may get a follow back.
But
so
listen, CL Smooth talking about I Gotta Love, and then Pete Rock on production. Stop it! You're like, that is the formula of like a 5-mic amazingness. So for me, that was my number one best, most amazing slept on joint ever. So Main Ingredient.
not to mention that the back of this album cover, I can't tell you how many days I would stare at this production setup and be like, I need a SP12. You get this book, the SP12, very hard to find. I don't even know if it even exists anymore. Like 90% of the producers who they interviewed all said they got an SP1200 because they saw it on the back of this album cover right here. That they saw the SP1200 and they were like, oh, that's what Pete uses. That's what I need to get. So that's some of
the SP for like $4,000 American, which is like $7,000 Canadian. Not to mention duties and all of that. And I'm sitting here thinking like, I got to get myself an SP.
No, you don't. Nope. I'm against. First of all, ain't nobody paying nobody out there. Listen to the words that I'm saying, people watching at home. Don't you pay no goddamn $4,000 for no reissue.
I know.
Then I went on to eBay and saw the OG SP1200 is going for $15K. Yes. Don't nobody out there spend that kind of money unless you rich. Because I do want an SP. My limit was like $3,000. But the thing with an SP and me is like, I just want it. That shit is like a painting. You know what I mean? Because if you made beats on anything post 95, the SP1200 would drive you fucking crazy trying to use this shit with the sample time, even if they upspeed the loading time and all that shit. Lord Finesse, who's an SP fanatic, said he got off the SP because he was working on what Trey was talking about, the Chronic 2001 with Dre with the message. He said he felt like the Flintstones because niggas had the 3000 and he was like loading up mad discs and niggas like sitting around like, Finesse was like, he was so embarrassed. By the time he went back to New York, he got rid of it, but he started rocking with the MPC. So I know it's a piece of nostalgia, it's a piece of history.
But if you listen to Grap tell stories about Pete on the SP, like, I'm sorry, but that makes you want to like go and get yourself an SP and be that dope. Like,
well, here's the problem with that. That's like saying, yo, let me tell you some stories of Jordan on the basketball court. Yeah, you know what I mean? And then you trying to go out and buy a basketball court, to play on. It's like, it again, if you got 15,000,
I need an SP1200 and a time machine. I need the DeLorean and an SP1200. I got you. I know.
There you go. Because on the machine, I have an SP1200 setting that works just fucking fine. And my other beef with it was all the people who love the SP12 and they'll co-sign it don't even use it no more.
Yep.
Pete don't use the SP12 no more. Lord Finesse don't use the SP12. So that's the other part about it, that the people who
has it.
What you say?
He still has it.
I mean, he still has it, but he doesn't use it.
Right, but
I mean, again, if you got 4 Gs, I'm not big on spending $4,000 on a reissue. You know, Rel, you know how it is with sneakers. If we're gonna get the OGs, then that's cool. But I can't do 4 Gs for a reissue. Like, you got to give me the original one for
Yeah,
4,000. But neither here nor there. JR, let's go on your side of things. The R&B albums. I don't have mine in any order. I've just got some joints down here. I'm going to start off with Promise by Sade. It's my personal favorite Sade album. You're Not the Man is probably one of my favorite Sade songs. Again, Sade is one of those people you don't even have to listen to the album to be a fan because of the hits. So that's why You're Not the Man is nowhere near the hit. Off this album was Is It a Crime, Sweetest Taboo, Never As Good As the First Time. But like I said, my favorite joint is You're Not the Man. I'm going to go with Voodoo, D'Angelo's follow-up that I absolutely love. I'm going to go with Jodeci, Diary of a Madman, one of my favorite R&B albums. Another slept-on one, Enter the Drew, the second Drew Hill album. That's 5 mics to me. Love that album to death. I'm going to go, but my number one is going to be another slept-on one, Soul Angel and the Hadley Say Dream, Solange's second album.
That was a step
very,
for me too.
Very dope
Yes.
album. But I think the number one dopest sophomore album, and again, whenever I'm talking R&B, I'm talking 89, 90 on. I'm giving it to Mary J. Blige's My Life right there. So to me, that's the number one dopest sophomore album. Real quick, Kel, this was the joint I was talking about when Jazzy Jeff from did the Run DMC.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So, and of course, I guess somebody called them out on it, and then it became that album cover. You know, so yeah, I'm like, damn, y'all niggas really just bit the whole thing, got all the words, and got
Right.
the face at the bottom. Y'all niggas just, y'all took everything from them niggas. Like, there was just no cut cards. Like, we just gonna do exactly what Running them did. JR, you go up next since you the R&B guru. What do you have for your
All right.
R&B?
I'm gonna start with Roots by Curtis Mayfield.
Okay.
That got Get Down on it. We Gotta Have Peace. Keep On Keeping On. That was right after his debut, which he was gonna do that and he was gonna go back to the Impressions, but his manager told him you would be better going off solo, and clearly we know that was true. So we ended up getting the Roots, and then after that we got Superfly.
JR, question.
Yes.
Curtis leaving the Impressions. Was it Bad Blood? Was this like Cube leaving?
No,
Like
it
that?
wasn't. Because even after he left, he produced the album after he left by the Impressions.
Now, who did they
Produced the
replace
next
him with?
Huh?
Who did they replace Curtis with?
Shoot, what is his name? Shoot. Ah, God.
All right, don't worry about it. But
His
so
name
there wasn't no Bad Blood. It wasn't.
No. It wasn't no Bad Blood. It wasn't no Bad Blood. He was like, I'm gonna just do this because I want to do this, and his manager was like, you need to just go solo, and he was like, all right, I'll do it, and that's when he did Curtis, and then he did that, and then he was like, I ain't going back after that. So
Okay.
Then I got shoot, I got a few of them. I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna go with the Diary of Alicia Keys.
Okay. I'm not mad at that.
Diary of
A lot of
Alicia
people don't
Keys.
like Diary. I love Diary.
I think I'm sorry. I think her debut is overrated to me. Like, to be honest, like I only like maybe like 3 songs on there, but I think Fallen carried the album, to be honest, because it was everywhere.
I think it was Fall in that woman's work.
Right, and I'm
like,
yeah. So with that, Diary, because Wake Up, So Simple, all them joints, like her and Crucial got down with the Get Down on that, and then Kanye gave her You Don't Know My Name, so that was dope. Then I got Donny Hathaway's second album. That's with A Song for You, Giving Up, that I got in the back of me there. I like that album.
In that Pieces of a Man?
Huh?
In that Pieces of a Man? Is that the name of the album?
No, it's talking about Donnie. It's just called Donny Hathaway. That's it.
Called Donnie. Okay, cool.
Yeah. That album to me was he was just showing his vocal ability to me. You know what I mean? I think the first album he was coming out showing everybody that he was really an artist, and he still had good songs on Everything Is Everything. But to me, I think the Donny Hathaway album is dope. Like, you just feel the emotion from Donnie's voice. So I love that. Brandy's Never Say Never.
Okay. Now, what's on that?
Never.
Which one is on that? What's on Never Say Never?
That is Have You Ever? You don't know my name. The Boy Is Mine. Angel in Disguise.
Angel in Disguise. That's okay.
Yes, that's all on there. Her, Rodney, and Fred, and LaShawn, they got down and they did what they needed to do.
Is that Like This on there?
No, that's on Full Moon.
Full Moon. All right.
That's on Full Moon.
If y'all don't know by now, I get all Brandy's albums mixed up. I don't know why.
You do this every episode. Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime you make Brandy, I'm like this on there. Okay, not that one. Okay. It's like that's like me saying, "What lad we playing space? What lad nigga? Come on, pay attention to what lad nigga."
That's the one with Brandy and Mace.
Yes, the top of the world. Yeah. Even though I like the remix with Big Pun better though, but that. And then the last one, of course, is gonna be "Marry My Life." That album is my everything. I got it behind me, got it on me. I love that album to death. Everything is perfect on that album to me. Chucky, R.I.P. to him. He did what he needed to do. I mean, Sean was a part of it, but it's Mary and Chucky to me. So yeah, so those are my 5, but I got so many slept on. So those
all right, we'll come back around and slept on. Before I forget this right here, for people watching at home, nice EP to get. Pete and CL, rare tracks, a lot of the remixes. It's a Japan reissue. The damn liner notes are even in Japanese. If y'all can see that, like literally everything is in Japanese. So dope EP to get. The Lots of Love and remix is on here, which is probably my favorite Pete Rock remixes. The Lots of Love and remix. I was one of the few people who hated the original Lots of Lovin'. So when I heard the remix, it was just crazy to me. Trey, what's some of your sophomore joints for R&B?
I mean, My Life, you can't escape that. That's obvious. Of course, Voodoo, you know, that's my guy, D'Angelo, man. Shit, anything he do, I'm, you know, that's what it is. So I'll name a couple of more. Or Diary of a Mad Band, you named that. Let's go Luther Vandross, Forever for Always for Love.
Ooh, you better come on, Trey.
I see Trey out here.
Come on, man.
Come on, Trey.
Yes.
I'm an OG, man. You know me, man.
Oh yeah.
We used to make the slow jam tapes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, for the you know, for those, you know, sit back Power 99. I used to be up late, you know what I'm saying? When the Quiet Storm came on, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, had to have that ready, man. Another one is Anita Baker, Giving You the Best That I Got.
Right,
You know
because Rapture is her second album, right?
Yeah, Rapture is the second.
What was the first?
Yeah.
The first one was Songstress.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So then let's give you the best that I got. Then let's go Rapture then. Shit.
I knew somebody.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's go Rapture then. You know what I'm saying? That's right. I forgot because Songstress had Angel on it.
Yes.
So
yes.
Yes. So yeah, let's go Rapture then. Shit, even better. You know what I mean? Come on, what we gonna say about Rapture?
The album of all time.
It is the greatest R&B. If you're talking about R&B, it is the greatest R&B album of all time, in my opinion. In my opinion, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we could go on, but you know, I think I'm good with Forever for Always for Love and Rapture, man.
Ooh, Better Love is on there. What?
Yes,
Can't never go wrong with D'Angelo. Nice little 12-inch right here with some of the instrumentals. So Voodoo, one of the dopest albums just all time.
Voodoo is stupid.
This is Chick and Grease for like making love in Spanish joint right here. So joints.
Spanish joint.
Rel, what you got on the R&B tip?
I got a few. So I got Crazy Sexy Cool.
Ooh, good.
That's good.
I got 1 in a Million. Aaliyah John.
It's a good album.
I had Brandy Never Say Never on my list too. My Life, of course, you know, that's self-explanatory, you know, can't, you know. I got Babyface John. His Tenant, yeah. I got that one, and I got a Slept On. I got Donnell Jones, Where I Want to Be.
God damn!
That's a dope album.
That's
That's a
dope.
dope
Come
album.
on, bro! Yes.
And my last one's Don't Be Cruel. Bobby Brown, Don't Be Cruel.
Nice.
Another
nice.
dope pull. Another
Yes.
dope pull right there.
Yeah, so those mine.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Cal, what you got, man? You gonna do all Queens again, man? Because you I'm like, yo, if you're able to pull off an all Queens R&B list, nigga, you win. You win.
You know, we don't have that many. I mean, we don't have too many R&B singers. Tom Brown, Bernard Wright. That might be. I can think about the top of my head, but nah, I can't think none of the albums. So I can't win on that one. I got, you guys already said My Life. You said Anita Baker, Rapture, Don't Be Cruel. Those are on my list. I got Freddie Jackson, Just Like the First Time.
Okay.
10, you know.
Okay.
That was my joint. Tasty Love.
Come on.
Jam Tonight.
I see you,
You know,
OG. I see you.
Yes.
You
Luther was the
y'all
man.
sounding like somebody uncle out here. You named Freddie Jackson. You got some nephews, nigga. You got some nephews. you can't mention Freddie Jackson if you ain't somebody's uncle. Like, you gotta to mention Freddie Jackson.
Yeah, Freddie was the man. He has some joints. Whitney Houston. Whitney.
Not mad at that.
I think.
You done pissed off JR. You done pissed off JR.
No. Look, this is your opinion. I ain't mad at it.
No, what's on Whitney?
What's on again? I'm sorry. Here go my Brandy question. What's on Whitney?
I want to dance with somebody.
Okay. All right.
Exactly. What else I got? I got this is an album I think it's slept on. I love this is one of my favorite R&B groups, Loose Ends. So Where Are You Now?
Yo, Cal is officially somebody's uncle, nigga.
Oh, yeah.
You are an uncle.
Yo, I got tons. Yo, and Morgan I had tons of R&B.
Nah, Loose Ends is the shit, man. No, these are all dope pulls, man.
You know, so and my last one I got is I guess you guys already said Jodeci and Diary Man Band. So
yeah, man, that Jodeci, man, I love that album, man. And again, I think it's a testament to how dope them slow jams are, because I ain't heard the probably other half of the album, but you know, just the slow jams alone was crazy.
You're fiending.
Don't with him.
How Many Love? Yeah, no, they had the joy.
Yeah, no doubt. Rec, what you got for yours, man? You're muted.
No, my bad. I was taking myself off mute. So Kill, you took my Sade joint. I was living in Germany at the time, and Sade was on the TV every fucking day. It felt like, man. As a 7-year-old, you know, seeing that type of beauty with that type of music, I'm floored. Like I love Sade to this day because of that experience, being a kid watching her living in Europe. So
yo, here's the thing, bro. I don't trust anybody who doesn't like Sade.
Facts. I agree with you.
It's one reason I don't. It's one of the reasons I don't. Because she doesn't like Sade. So to this day, there's always, even after 21 years of marriage, I'll sleep with one. Yeah, Tanya does not like Sade.
What? Wait, what? Why?
Kill. Sharon don't like Sade either.
She says suicide.
My family we're not the biggest Sade fans.
Sharon don't like her either. Sharon don't like her either.
Yeah, like it's why I don't trust
a group of people talk about.
Yo, this is why I don't
But no, I like her.
I don't trust her 100%.
Not like her at all.
Yo, I literally was like, I don't even know if I can marry you, because she doesn't like Luther, she doesn't like Maxwell, and she doesn't like Sade.
She don't like Duke or Skinny.
Come out.
Luther's from the borough.
Yo, everybody.
Wait, come out.
Oh.
She don't like Luther?
Big or skinny?
Yo.
She's not a fan.
Big or skinny, yeah.
Big or skinny Luther.
Yeah, I mean, it's disheartening, but it kind of was like I brought the ring already. We had the chapel. It was like,
yo, don't do that.
You know, fuck, you know.
Trey, you muted, Trey.
Saying there's a difference between she doesn't like him and she's not a fan. So for clarity,
Well, let me say that she's not a fan.
Okay, I can live with that.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if I can still trust you, even if you're not a fan. I mean,
Yeah,
how can you
you're
not?
teetering.
I mean,
You're
I
teetering.
hear that
You can
opinion,
tell me
but
to kick out, but
I
she got to sit by the door.
I get it.
I don't get it, but I'll allow that. I don't
Right.
because that's I don't get it, but I'll allow that. You know what I mean?
Right. But
Yeah.
like now I can say that she does not like Sade. That's a not like. She does not like Sade. You know what I mean? So that I'm just like.
I'm with you.
But here's the part. It's not. I'll say this. I can listen to Sade around her and it doesn't bother her. So I don't think her hatred for Sade is like Portia's hatred to Drake. Because I think if Porsche came to DC and I drove us around all week listening to Drake, she would probably jump out the car and just.
we wouldn't get in the car in the first place.
I can say it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Put Sade in the car. She is not gonna like open the door and roll out on 95. Like Porsche will probably roll out on 295. Coming from the airport.
I cannot say that I wouldn't do that. I cannot confidently say I wouldn't do that.
There are still levels to hatred. Like she's not at the Portia Drake hatred of Sade, but she doesn't like it. But I'm sorry, Rick. So 7 years old.
These are things that need to be known, man. I just listen, man. Sade is the reason I understood what a crush was.
Yeah.
Period. Point blank.
Oh, that's so
Period. Point blank. Love that woman.
Look at Portia.
That's
Love that.
the niggas out there who's trying to get at Porsche, put the word "crush" in your song, and you'll probably get followed back. Like,
Wow, she's blushing and the whole shit.
Damn, she is red. Damn,
like Portia is in love with falling in love. So if y'all want to get write something about falling in love, and you may have a shot.
That's what's up.
She's a romantic. That's beautiful.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. My number 2 is another one that I love. Jilly from Philly. Get me with the googly moogly laughing. Woo! Beautifully human. Man. Quick story. One of my homeboys, man, God rest him dead. He was an electrician in South Jersey. And he had a connect. He used to do a lot of superstars' houses in South Jersey, up and down 295, right? This dude calls me whispering one day, like, yo. I'm like, man, what the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, I'm in Jill Scott's house, and she keeps singing, bro. I can't do this job. my man said she was one of the nicest people he'd ever met in his life. And that speaks volumes. I've never heard anybody have anything bad to say about her. That could be subjective, but I love that album. One that I'm surprised nobody spoke on, Mama's Gun.
That was good. I was gonna throw that in mind.
I got that on my stuff on. I got that.
She changed the sound, went a little harder. I love that album.
Yeah.
Love that album. Now, didn't you know? Man, woo! That's a good one.
That's that Dilla.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now for my diggers, we're gonna go to the Silvers 2.
Okay.
Silvers 2. If you don't dig, or
can
if you
win.
do dig
Yes,
and you don't know what this is,
Yes, sir.
go ahead and sell all your collection to me, Trey, JR, Rel, Kel, P. We'll take all of it because you don't deserve it. If you don't know shit about the Silvers, just go ahead and get at us. You can send it to your apartment 5B, P.O.
That's
Box.
a fact.
We're gonna take care of it.
Yes.
We can make it. I'll never let you go. City of Dreams. Come on, man. Or City of a Dreamer. Private Dreamer. Yeah. Come on.
I remember yesterday.
I wasn't even gonna go there. I wasn't even gonna go there. Last one, I had to go with that. I probably had to go with that. You just said it, Darvin Mad Band. That's probably the first time I understood that I liked R&B, because I was so much of a hip hop head that I didn't listen to no R&B. And one of my boys that I used to ball with, one of my boys I used to ball with, every time I get in his car, he had that shit playing. And I'm like, and loud, like real loud. And I'm sitting in the back seat and I'm just like, and then after about the 4th time we go into the basketball courts, I'm in the back seat like this. Like, I like that album.
Side A,
Does he
right?
have like a vault? Is there like an LP in a vault that he's getting? What is
I don't know. He's digging up
I was
something.
trying to
Oh,
find
he's
the
digging up
Searching,
No, when
y'all.
he's digging up that Silver's album.
Oh, okay.
That's what he looking. Yeah. Mhm.
But yeah, the Diary of a Mad Band probably was the first album I realized outside of Love and Sade that I liked R&B. Like the two R&B artists that I probably understood first growing up in my life was Sade and Anita Baker. And then after that, you know, as a kid, you know, you like what you like. And then when I started hearing Jodeci, that second album, I was like, okay, I like this, you know. But that's the album that's the album I would go to. Did you find a killer?
Nah, it's around here somewhere. The only silver joints. I know I
Oh,
got
you got it, 'cause I
Only
saw
thing
it.
I know you got it.
Oh, you got it.
Silvers.
Yeah, it's in there.
This is the silvers too. This ain't two, right?
No.
Can't tell. No,
yeah,
it's
that's not two. This the
That's
first
not it.
joint. And I got Forever Yours in the showcase, but it's in here somewhere. It's in here somewhere.
Okay. Well, shit. Either way,
Wait.
between all of us, whoever got it and don't know what it is, just go ahead and give it up. Marvin Gaye style with the drums and everything.
He said, just give it up.
Give it up, Marvin Gaye style. We'll dance to it.
If
We'll dance
folks
to
want
it. Marvin Gaye
Sade
style.
watching and you don't know, you got to check out Sweetback. This is Sade's band. So if you're a fan of Sade, this album right here, beautiful. Maxwell is on this joint. Amel LaRue is on this joint. Very
Ooh.
dope album if you're a Sade fan.
The Mel's on there?
Yeah, Amel LaRue is on here. And
Yeah,
Max.
we just call her a Mel in this house, bro. A Mel.
Porsche, what you got up? What you got up for yours, Porsche?
So you guys mentioned 3 of mine, so I'll only mention 2 that.
I already know one
I
of them.
already know.
I already know one of them.
Already
What is it?
know.
What?
Huh?
You guys tell me.
Do my
A
Boys
group.
to Men.
What?
It's a group.
Boys to Men 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it had to be.
I knew that one.
But just on record, there's a Christmas album that was released before.
Yes,
Two
it was. Yep.
So I wasn't sure if that would be considered like. If
I
you
don't
guys
count
brought
Christmas
anything-
albums, but I
Oh,
get
thank
it.
God,
I'm
yes.
about to say,
Yeah.
if it ain't
Now I
Ricky
have
thinking about
fun.
Christmas, I don't want to hear.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm gonna be the odd man out. I like that Christmas album better than 2.
What? What?
Okay, Kill, you bugging right now.
Again, I say this all the time on the timeline. I get outvoted on my own podcast. It's cool. I love
I
that
think you
Christmas album.
trolling, yo. You full of shit. No, you
No,
don't. No, you don't. You full of it, yo. No, you
Yo.
don't, yo.
Let me,
No, you don't.
Porsche, guess what I'm about to say. Word is bond to Jesus.
Uh-oh.
I am not
Uh-oh.
trolling.
And you better
I
go pray after we
Hey,
finish, because you're lying.
Kill, go ahead and
I
spin
like
around in
that.
your pen so we know it's real.
I like it better than 2. Yo,
Name 3 songs off of it then.
Outside of Let It
besides
Snow.
this, no, I
No,
fell in
no.
love on Christmas Day. What? Nigga, I'm 47.
No.
Nigga, I can barely remember Naomi's birthday if she wasn't telling me. Like, you can't be quizzing a nigga who 47. Nigga,
But
say,
you said you like the album so much better than 2.
I do, nigga. I can't name you 5 songs right now off of damn Pete and them second album. No, I'm not. My brain don't work like that anymore.
Again,
I
he's
get it,
trolling
I get that.
viewers.
I'm
He's
not trolling.
Boys to Men 2 album is my favorite R&B album of all time, period. Like, I just love that album so
That's
so
impressive.
much. Oh my
That's
God,
impressive.
I love that
Wow.
album.
Very.
That album is like every single thing that an R&B album needs to be. It feels like love. Like, if love was an audio experience, it's that Boys to Men 2 album. I'm serious. Like, you guys,
Yo, I swear for God, if you niggas out there don't make a song called Boys the Men, talk about some crush and falling in love and hearts and roses, nigga, you're losing, man.
They're gonna fuck it
You're
up,
losing.
man. They're gonna put hearts in their fucking head and start thinking about shit.
And that's where you gotta stop. That's where you gotta stop. Do not do the hard part. Don't do that shit.
So yes, Boys to Men 2, my absolute favorite. There's nothing that's gonna beat that one. Then All That I Am by Joe. I love that album so much.
Yeah, that was one I slept on too.
Joe's whole existence is slept on.
Yes,
No,
it is. Now,
Joe
I
is
agree.
not slept on.
Totally.
Joe just has a bad rep, I think, in the R&B circle because he is known as a dirty Mac. Like, he is just, how do you know that?
He's known as a what? What? He's known as a what? What did you
Pete, I think I know what you're talking about,
Like,
Pete, but I need you to
Wait, what did you say?
He'll go and like talk the girl out of her relationship with the man and like talk shit about the man to like get the chick.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
Hold on, what did you call it? What did you call it?
I didn't.
Dirty Mac. Dirty Mac. Yeah.
You're right. I understand because you're right. I didn't fuck with Joe because that all the things your man won't do. I was like, yo, you a corny ass nigga, my nigga. You want to come up with some girl talking about, oh, your man don't do this? Well, I'll do it for you. Fuck you, nigga, man. Ass talk. Who does that? What kind of game? You ain't got no game. If your game is, you know, what don't he do? Oh, I'll do this. So you're 100% right. You're 100% right. I did not mess with Joe because
I love that album, but Joe does have a bad rep, I think, in the music. I think just in the celebrity realm. Because if you guys haven't seen the 25th anniversary edition of Def Comedy Jam,
Oh yes.
they cracked so many jokes about Joe. Like it was,
Yeah,
I was
he did.
dying
Yeah,
of
he
laughter
did.
because he deserves every last one of those. For all
I
of
gotta
the,
watch that.
for all of the songs that he's dropped. But
Yeah.
anyways, All That I Am, and then Room 112. I love that album.
Okay.
Yep. I like that.
For me, that's just like the perfect for 112. Like I love their sort of upper beat hip hop integration into like what they kind of were. Like their first debut album was really dope. Like obviously Cupid's on that album. Come on, I love it. But Room 112 was it was just a little bit more hip hop incorporated in there, and I really like that because I think it was a very dope sound for 112. I think they pulled it off well. So yeah, those are mine. And then of course My Life, Mary J. Blige. Like that's like not even up for debate. But,
All right, no doubt. Slept on ones I got. 100% genuine second out. I see by the tone of JR's face, you ain't feeling that.
No.
Oh,
I'm agreeing. I like that. Nah.
The tone of your face,
ready for battle. Go ahead, yo. Go ahead.
Nigga, did anybody else see this nigga face? He looked to the side like I thought.
I just went like this, like damn, like that was one of my steps.
I apologize. I don't want no beef with the R&B gurus. Future second off sound. Justin's second album. Love that. Now, what's this tone face? What tone is this?
Huh? No, I'm waiting for you to finish.
Well, y'all say some shit. Y'all act like y'all see this nigga face too. Like I'm the only nigga. Like, don't nobody else see all these. Like, nigga, y'all see his face? Like,
I didn't see his face, man.
Kelby waiting for me to do something. That's why I did it, because I'm like, he should be
one of my
focusing on
favorite
his
slept
lyrics.
joints that nobody talks about, "A Day in the Life" by Eric Benet.
Yeah.
I love this album. Very dope album. Love this joint. So that's what I got. Actually, glad I was going through the records. I found my Billy Ray Valentine pop off of Trade Places.
Nice.
Yo, where did you get that? That's crazy.
I don't know, but the nigga even got the sign that says, thank you, veterans.
That's dope.
Sign on it too. So Billy Ray Valentine. If y'all don't know about Billy Ray, watch 48 Hours and thank me later. JR, what's your slept on joints?
All right, I got From the Mint Factory by Mint Condition.
Very dope.
Yes,
very dope.
Oh my, that's my favorite album from them. Period, from beginning to end.
That's
like,
the joint right there.
yo, oh my god, like, whoo, so fine and all them joints. Like that Revival from Tony.
Another dope.
Prince's second album with Why You Treat Me So Bad, I Feel For You, and what was the hit? I Want to Be Your Lover.
Yeah.
then
That's the
I
Prince
had
self-titled, right?
Huh?
That's the Prince self-titled album, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then I had Mama's Gun, I had Voodoo, I had Usher's My Way.
Okay.
I had Faith's Keep the Faith, 100% Genuine, and then I had In Vogue's Funky Divas because I don't think a lot of people talk
I have
about
that one too. That's
Denzel
fun.
Foster and Thomas McElroy. They don't talk about him a lot at all, and I think they should get a lot of credit a little bit for that like New Jack vibe because they actually the first album they did with Tony, which was The Who. They did all that, like Raphael and them played the instruments, but Thomas and Denzel did all that, and then of course they did all of In Vogue, and they worked with Alexander O'Neal and all that kind of stuff. But I did that, and then Mariah Carey's Emotions. I love that. I think that's my favorite album from her. I think Mariah was really in her artistic bag on that one. She really loves R&B music. Mariah loves R&B and she loves hip hop. And if you listen to the Emotions, it's nothing but gospel and R&B to me. And I think that's when she's her true self. So I like that one. But then
what's on that album?
What's on that
album?
That got I Can't Let Go. That's Emotions. What else is on there? Till the End of Time. If It's Over.
Wow, I may have completely missed that entire album. I don't remember.
Well, she misses it too because she goes from the debut and she goes to Music Box. Like it's the truth. Like she loves I Can't Let Go, but she goes right to Music Box with Dream Lover and
right.
That.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I do. So okay.
Yeah. She skips the second one like it never happened. Mary does that.
Outside I Can't Let Go. I don't remember anything else off that album.
What?
I can't remember.
Besides, I Can't Let Go. Like that's the only song that I know that comes to mind.
Yeah, and everybody know the Emotions, the single,
right?
Yeah, but Mariah don't pay. She paid dust to it too, so I get it. And the last one is Teddy P. Life is a song worth singing. That has Close the Door. That has Get Down, Get Funky, Get Loose.
Yes.
Only You.
Yes.
All that. That man, Gamble and Huff was on their shit when they got with Teddy solo.
That's
like
a whole fact.
It was a rap. Like from 77 to like 82, he was on fire. You know what I'm saying? Like any album you pick, you can pick that one, you can pick TP, you can pick Teddy, you can pick any one of those 4 albums he came out with, you could have picked. But my favorite is Life is a Song Worth Singing. So that's kind of my ones that I said was slept on.
Fire joint.
Dope, cool. Trey, you got any slept on joints?
I mean, y'all named a few of them. Keeping the Faith, like that. That's my joint. I guess I'll just jump on 2 of these joints. Music Soul Child, Just Listen.
Dope, Paul. Very dope one.
Yes.
Previous Cats.
Up, Stop Playing, Religious, Baby Girl, Half Crazy. My joint is Previous Cats.
I just said that joint.
That's
Previous
my
Cats.
joint.
That is my
Previous
shit.
Cats, man. And Half Crazy is probably my favorite music song. Like that's a very
Man, Crazy is great. Oh man. So I mean, I his catalog is truly slept on. Not just the second album. His entire catalog is just like you could pick about 4 or 5 of them joints and just play them down straight through, man. You know what I'm saying? And then the last one I wanted to harp on is New Edition. Self-titled album.
Pull it now.
Oh, I thought he was about to be funny again.
No. I wasn't going there.
Do the Blue Moon album.
I wasn't going Blue Moon. But the New Edition self-titled album had My Secret on there. It had Cool It Now. It had Baby Love on there. It had Lost in Love was on that joint. You know what I'm saying? Like they had that might be New Edition's second best album. Matter of fact, it is New Edition's second best album. You know what I'm saying?
After Heartbreak.
And Home Again.
Yep.
See, I'm not a big Home Again fan. Like I just wasn't in love with that.
Say that before.
Yeah, Home Again is they had the what was on there? Hit Me Off.
It was Hit Me Off, and it was
I
Still
didn't
in
like
Love
Home
with You.
Again that much.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing else. But that New Edition self-titled album, that was my joint right there. They had some bangers on there, some absolute bangers. So that's all I got.
All right, bro, what you got for slept on, Jones?
I only got 2.
Oh, Mr. Telephone Man was on there too. By the way,
That's my favorite New Edition song.
I got Case, Personal Conversation.
What slow jam is on that? Is that
Happily Ever After?
There you go. Yeah, that's it right there. That bridge of that song, I can listen to that bridge just over and over. Man, just yeah, I love that.
This one was my favorite Case song, but Personal Conversation, that album is pretty good, man. And I think my second one, I might be cheating, but oh well. Maxwell Unplugged album.
Okay.
Hold on, which one?
Maxwell Unplugged, because that came out.
You ain't let know.
I remember that was the first time I heard a woman's work, and I fell in love with that song. Like that live version, like I literally fell in love with that
album. Was crazy. That
all of them artists was bringing out live albums after.
Yeah, man, that joint was crazy. That's one of my favorites. So that's my two slept on.
That's dope. Kelv, you got any slept on joints?
I don't have any more R&B, but I forgot about one hip hop that I forgot.
What you got?
Deadly Pepper.
I'm not mad at that. Get on up. Get on up. That joint was crazy. Let the rhythm run. The rhythm run was crazy.
Yep.
Shake it. Yep. Very dope album. Very dope album. And you speaking of hip hop, I can't believe I didn't name this Philadelphia. The Roots second album.
No doubt.
That's my favorite Roots album, hands down. You know,
make sure you put this clip out so people can know you are a Roots fan.
Well, niggas already know. Until you got my collection, nigga, shut the fuck up. Like it's literally that simple. You gotta show me you own at least 5 Roots albums. If you want to cap for somebody, nigga, you have to show me at least 3 albums you own. Like, and then after that, we can discuss shit. But y'all can't be sucking these other niggas out here and don't even own their shit. Like, bare minimum, if you gonna suck it, just whatever. You gonna swallow a nigga, you gotta at least own their shit. So you can't be capping for thought all day long and you don't own a Roots album. Nigga, that says so much more about you than it does about me. So, but yeah, Eladel. Rec, you got any more slept on joints? R&B?
Yeah, man. Nobody talks about these cats except for us. Intro. New Life.
Their second
album. Yeah.
That New Life album.
Come on, man. Tell me it's not that New Life crazy. Funny how time.
Yeah.
Funny how time flies.
Yo, funny how time it goes on.
I already know Trey tracking. Tell me you did not walk down Jamaica Ave or Guy Brewer or 40 or Baisley and you did not hear that shit banging out somebody's speaker.
Yes, yo.
Okay. You quick anywhere in the South Side, I know you heard that shit.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yo, that joint, that's my joint.
Then he got the song that he dedicated to Mary on there, which was my song. Because she used a lot of his songs on her.
Yo, Brett, good pull, my brother. Good pull.
Hey, my uncle put me on to that. I used to go to Far Rockaway every couple weekends, and my uncle would be like, yo,
just to let you know, when Trey start talking intro, he about to start singing. You got on the glory, so you gloriette today, so you have to do backgrounds for him. So.
If this was debut, I knew Trey would talk about the intro album for real.
Right. So just get ready for these backgrounds for us.
Hey, real quick, I got to step off. I got to grab my son. So, I'm gonna talk with y'all later.
No way. Always just right.
Happy birthday, my brother. Happy birthday.
I owe you something too, Trey. I ain't forget. I owe you something.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good, brother.
It's not all good. It's not all good. I owe you something. I got you.
All right, good brother.
All right, y'all.
Porsche, what you got for your slept-ons?
JR already named it. It was En Vogue. That's all I had for slept on. And you guys know I love En Vogue, and that album is dope and I don't know, En Vogue doesn't really get talked about much outside of like maybe a single or two. So yeah, I feel like they're pretty slept on.
Criminally slept on.
They are.
Why do you think that is? Because the first album to me is a 5-mic classic, hands down. Like, don't go.
You know what?
I know what JR's gonna say. We talked about it before. I know what JR.
All right, JR, what you got?
Because of the internal beef. they're never gonna get the respect that they deserve because of the internal beef. And
what was the internal beef?
Like with Dawn spilling everything in interviews about them and talking about who they was sleeping with and the contract business and all this kind of stuff, and everybody is not gonna look at them like that. So it's like they're not gonna get the respect due, because as much as they're keeping the brand out there, everybody want to see the original 4 girls. We want to see Dawn, Max, Cindy, and Terry.
All right, I got 2 questions.
Yes.
Number 1, do you like? I almost feel like the music on the first 2 albums is undeniable, and maybe I'm just a fool to believe that if you make undeniable music, that it will last the test of time. Like, I just don't understand why, like, contract disputes or hell, Eric fucking Rob Parrish. Ain't nobody ever be like, oh, I'm not buying hit switches because this nigga Rob Parrish, or Parrish was jerking E, so I'm not gonna like. Hip hop groups go through it all the time. So is it just different for R&B?
I do, because I feel like with In Vogue, you don't want to see any of them solo at all. Right. Terry tried to do it, and it didn't work.
She had a good single, but
she had a good single, which was supposed to be an In Vogue single, but that, you know what I mean? So you don't want to see any of them solo. So at the end of the day, we want to see the 4 girls, and I don't think we will ever get that again. We will never see them on stage again. Dawn went on every interview on Instagram and told everybody
from Raphael Sadiq to I don't know who she hasn't dissed. So
right, like, you know what I'm saying? So like, she's telling like deep secrets, and the girls will never trust her again. So
here's the wild thing for me. I probably wouldn't even recognize In Vogue in 2021. You could put 4 light-skinned girls up there, and I probably wouldn't even know that ain't them, because I don't fucking even remember what half of them look like, because I ain't seen In Vogue since what, Set It Off? And that was what, 95?
96.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm just keeping it a buck. Like, I mean, the other 2, all I know is Terry and Dawn. Like, you can put Maxine in front of me right now, I probably wouldn't even know. She could be working at the bank, and I'd be like, yo, can I get that?
You're petty.
Like, I wouldn't know. You're a fan.
I know what they look like.
I know they look like.
Yeah. Right, you know what the original 4 look like.
I know what they look like in 1989. I don't recognize niggas we went to Morgan with 20 years ago. I'm damn sure don't remember what somebody from 1989 looked like in 2021. Like, I'll be at homecoming like, hey, who the fuck is
I ain't never gonna forget what they look like.
No way.
Right, they look like in 1989.
No, I know what they look like now. And the only reason I'm not getting explicit is because my wife is upstairs.
Right,
I
understand. I'm not seeing Vogue since fucking
They're still in great shape. They're still in great shape.
I haven't seen Dawn since Don't Mess With My Man video. I ain't seen the other joint since Juice. Which one was in Juice?
Cindy.
Yeah, I ain't seen Cindy
exactly
since
what
Juice.
Cindy looks like.
All right, we ain't getting nobody in trouble. So we got, because Trey's eyes are lighting up. So we gonna move on to something else.
One more thing. JR, remember we were talking about this a couple weeks ago. I think you had posted something about In Vogue. And then I saw like on Dawn's page, she was talking about it. And someone asked her, kind of what I said. I'm like, oh, which one 4 you would get together? And she had a good line. She's like, you're never going to get it. You know?
They tried to get back together like 3-4 times, and it ain't work. And Cindy and Terry is like, look, we trying to keep this brand going. We got Rona with us. We trying to keep it. We ain't trying to keep going back to y'all. We breaking up.
She's a new girl.
They added that to the mix.
They added Rona.
I thought she was talking about Corona. I thought she was like, we got Rona with us.
Yo, you're a funny guy, man.
And we're done with this episode of Sophomore 5B.
I thought it was like, yo, this is the perfect time. We got Rona with us. So
You're a funny guy.
He is a funny one, y'all.
I was like, yo, we got Rona. We can do these shows because niggas is home. This is the perfect time. There's a chick in the group.
On one today, let me tell you.
I'm glad y'all catching all of this.
There's a girl called Corona.
Her name is Rona.
Rona.
Just Rona. I've never heard the name Rona in my life. The fuck did they find her? Just Rona. Just Rona.
That's the girl from the Jamie Foxx show.
Oh my god, I cannot.
Fancy? The chick who on the
No.
wasn't the girl from the Jamie Foxx show?
No, Kill. The girl that was in when he was singing Off With.
Oh,
when
the joint who he was with Fancy, but he was gonna sing with the other joint.
Yes, her.
Rona,
yes.
Get the fuck out of here. I've never met a Rona in my life. I've never met a grown woman named Rona. I didn't know. I'm sorry. I didn't know. So they let the girl from the Jamie Foxx show in the group.
She's been in the group since like 2003, Kill.
Yeah, she's been in for a minute now, yeah.
I'm done. You know
where do they perform at? Like, y'all act like we talking about Griselda who come to DC 3 times a year.
They be on tour with like New Kids on the Block. They out here.
Oh yeah, they get it.
It's similar. You know, with Drew Hill, players in Drew Hill now.
Yeah, I know that.
But that's how crazy you telling me Rona from the Jamie Foxx in the bone. Like, y'all say this shit like it's normal. Like, you ain't no player was in Drew Hill now. Like that. That takes a minute to understand that now player Chance for you is part of Drew Hill.
You said you ain't
now that's even crazier.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy, Kill.
Yeah.
What you say?
That's crazy.
Yeah, that player in Drew Hill
came out after Juice, and the 4 girls was together then.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, I just haven't seen a show live. I didn't know the girl from the Jamie Foxx show, number 1, was named Rona. Number 2, I didn't know they
bring that back up again. Y'all.
I didn't know they got it. WB get feelings when Cindy left, like they just around the WB lot. Like, let's just wait for somebody to go off the lot.
I'm not doing it.
I'm sorry.
You got it. You right.
I went too far.
You're right. I
just really would think from that first album alone that they'd get so much more respect and their name would ring out so much more, because the first album is just so incredible. Like, and even the second album, I don't like it as much as the first, but it was still giving him something he could feel opened up a whole new generation to that song. So again, I'm really stumped. I guess, like you said, maybe the politics, but I'm just like, damn, I would think the music was dope enough that it still would be.
Well, everybody credits them. I mean, everybody credits them, but politics and industry ain't gonna give them what they deserve.
Right. Well, since you brought up Dawn, it reminded me of Sadiq. So I gotta give a shout out to Ray Ray. I forgot about that.
Sadiq second.
People sleep on Ray Ray. Yo.
Ray, that album.
That
album is crazy. That album is crazy. Sophomore joint. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just had to mention that.
Very dope. All right, but yeah, I'm with you, Porsche. I don't know why Vogue doesn't get mentioned more. Because I mean, again, music is undeniable. All 4 of them can sing. So yeah. Porsche, give them all, and I'll come to you last. Trey, give them everything. Where can they get Glory? What's going on with you? What's up next? The YouTube channel, everything.
Yeah, man. So we shifting everything, man. So social media aspect, just come on over to YouTube. That's what we're pushing right now. We phasing out of, you know what I mean? We're phasing out of IG. We're phasing out of Facebook. I'm gonna keep the accounts, but it's strictly for DM contacts if you got some business or whatever. But content, we're going over to YouTube. That's Left TV, LLEFT TV. Left spelled with 2 L's, TV. And turn on your notifications so that you are abreast to when we post, when we share, when we converse, when we do the lives, all that good stuff. But for everything else, for merch and all that, come on over to TracyLeeMusic.com. That's TracyYlee music.com. The music, merch. We got a show in Philly December 2nd at Milk Boy on 11th and Chestnut, December 2nd. So definitely lock in. Me and my brother Del P, along with my man St. Basil, along with the Boogeyman and the son of 215. That's definitely going to be something to kick off, you know, some other things that we got coming at the top of the year. I can't announce just yet, but we're routing a tour for the top of the year. Not only, performing Glory, but also celebrating the 25th anniversary of Many Faces. So definitely stay on the lookout for all of that. But again, Left TV, Left Star with 2 L's TV.
The crazy thing, Trey, Son of 215, that's my guy. I produced his first EP. That's my guy.
Wow.
Hey, small world. My cousins, his name used to be Dollar, and they used to rap with a group Drama Squad with my cousins back in the day before he changed his name to Son of 215. I knew him from.
Well, then y'all need to come. Y'all need to come on up, man.
They had a squad called Drama Squad. Actually, Cicero. I don't know if you know Cicero.
Yeah, I know Cicero. Yeah,
Cicero was a part of that as well. My little cousin, that was their little squad back in some years ago.
That's
so
what's
yeah,
up.
I know who that is as well.
Yeah, small world. JR, give them everything, good brother. Oh, did you talk about the merch? Where can they get all the merch at, Trey?
Oh, TracyLeeMusic.com. That's TracyLee. You get the merch, you get the manuscript. You know what I mean? We're putting together some packages for Black Friday. Well, really before Black Friday for the Christmas season. So stay on the lookout for that as well. But yeah, TracyLeeMusic.com.
All right, no doubt. One last R&B album I forgot about. Jazzy Fat Nasty's second album, The Tortoise in the Air. Very slept on album. Jazzy Fat Nasty. JR, where can they get at you? What's going on? With everything with the R&B reps?
All right, just check out the R&B reps on Twitter and the R&B representatives on Instagram. Our latest Catch That, which this episode would already be out by the time, but we're doing it with Grap Lover, and we're talking about loose ends. So that's gonna be dope. So that's oh god, he told us some funny stories about that one. Oh man, so that's a dope one. We got a lot coming up. Like I said, the last episode, we got a lot of people from Foreign Exchange we're interviewing. And our live episode that we did at Duke is coming out next week. So that's going to be on our YouTube. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is you can find us on YouTube on the R&B Representative. And that's it. I'm your Junior Brother Soul, and my partner is Naturally Elise on Instagram, and that's all. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter. We about to be like Trey. We about to leave Instagram because Instagram is for the birds, like for real, like.
Here's the wild part. Y'all know me. I'm hardly on Instagram. What's going on? What's the beef with
the lives? They suck. Like,
algorithms, the lives, all of that, and it's intentional because they want the advertising space.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They want to make you pay for your posts. Essentially. Yep. So they mess with the algorithm to the point where one day you'll get like 500 likes and 1,000. The next day it's down to 2. It's like, how does this happen?
How did it happen? Right.
In front of the people. Like, how do I got 12,000 followers, but there's only 1,000 people actually seeing the post? That makes no sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we got to work.
Yeah. So yeah, me and Elisa slowly like moving everything to our YouTube. Like we done. That's why we barely kind of do lives now, because it's like it's not Instagram. They wild and stuff.
What's your YouTube again?
The R&B reps. R&B representatives on YouTube. Gotcha. Yeah.
R&B reps.
Yep.
All right. No doubt. Rel, let them know everything. Where can they get at you? Cop the clothing line, everything.
Uptown J Ben on Instagram, JBen215 on Twitter, Fairgrade on Twitter. I've been slacking, but work, and I'm coaching high school football, so we're in the playoffs, so that's taking a lot of my time. So once the season goes, Largo High School.
Oh, Largo, okay.
Yeah, Largo High School in Maryland. We're in the playoffs. We play at Sparrows Point tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's it.
All right, no doubt. Kel, where can they get at you, good brother?
Real easy. At Kelvin Davis Sr. on Twitter, at Big Kelvin Instagram.
All right, Porsche.
You can find me on apartment 5B only. This is my permanent residence. And you can follow me on Twitter at @Cherchez-la-Porsche. And we do Twitter Spaces mostly every Monday, unless there's something that causes us to. I had family staying with me last week, so I couldn't do a or 2 weeks ago, and then I had a work event. So sometimes we cancel them, but most of the time, every Monday at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6:15 p.m. Pacific Time, we do a 1 hour and a half-ish Twitter Spaces, and it's very dope. So Apartment 5B on Twitter Spaces on Mondays, and yeah. And then Apartment 5B on YouTube, and we'll make beatsforfood.com. That's pretty much it.
I already know Kill889, Twitter, IG. Got the first 48 out with my man King James. So that's James Spit Flames at bandcamp.com. Got an EP out with my man Echo. Echo is the name season 7. So Echo is the name.bandcamp.com. Want to salute my man D-Jack, who's at Action for Life on Twitter. He showed love. He said, if you're looking for a well-structured, knowledgeable hip-hop conversation, not talking over each other and arguing for 2 hours, this is the podcast for you. Nice. Talking about 5B. So just always appreciate all the love. You know, the bookworm in me copped the new Will Smith book. Will, you know, I copped the book before all the drama came out. To me, Will, I've gotten a lot of good game from Will. Like, you know what I mean? Just through his lives and everything. I don't need to know all about it, Jada. I don't need to know about their love life. I didn't buy this for the tea. I brought this to kind of dig into, to me, one of the dopest MCs, definitely out of Philly.
Absolutely.
To dig into this for that. So, because people are like, damn, nigga, you brought that? You want the tea? I'm like, yo, I didn't know about none of this red table shit until 2 weeks ago. That's the very book that I'm reading right there. I don't care to know nothing about their sex life with Jada, like, at all. Quest Love's new book for all you fuckers out there who think I don't like the Roots and I buy everything that they do. Because niggas really like, yo, I brought every book. I brought Questlove's cookbook and I don't fucking care. So don't talk to me about I don't support the Roots. So this is Quest's book. He's breaking down an album from every year from like 1969 up into the 2000s. So we got that. And for the comic book heads out there, I got my Creating Wolverine book, Wolverine Top 3 Superheroes for me. So this is digging into the history of Wolverine and everything like that. Porsche, what's the book we're going to be doing for the book club next time?
It's called The History of Gangster Rap. And I'm reading it, and I can't remember who the author is, but it's very dope. Starts off with quotes a lot of Ice-T, Ice Cube, talks about Schoolie B. So far in the book, it's very West Coast focused, but it is very dope. I've been live tweeting a little bit of it as I read. I've been posting, pictures of excerpts from the book. I got Killed to cop the book, and then once he gets it, we'll start getting people on board so that they can also cop and read and then follow along with the review show. And yeah, I'm super excited about it. It's so good. It is such a good book. So
I know the cat that actually wrote the book. His name is Soren Baker.
Okay,
Soren Baker. Yeah, I follow him on IG and on YouTube. Yeah, he got good things.
Yeah, I typically know the authors. This one just slipped my mind, so I apologize. Soren Baker, yeah. And I've got Quest's book coming and Dilla's book coming, and I've got like a ton of books coming. So you'll be hearing about.
What book you said Dilla's book, Portia?
Yes, I think it's by somebody named Daniel Charnas, I think, but it's a pre-order. Is it out or is it a pre-order? Nope, it's a pre-order, and it releases on February 1st, 2022.
Right.
So, and Biggie's got a new book, there's a new book about Biggie coming out, that's on pre-order at Barnes & Noble as well. So I've got like a shit ton of books coming, so you guys will hear about them you'll see the posts and you'll hear about them as I get them, receiving them, so. Yeah.
And for all those people out there that may need a jump start, this book right here, Winning by Tim Grover. For people who don't know, Tim Grover was Michael Jordan's trainer, Kobe's trainer, D Wade's trainer. If you need that kick in the ass to get started and get off your ass and to start doing some work, this is the book for you right here. Trust me on that one. If you read this and you're not motivated to go out there and go after what you want, then my nigga, you may just want to fucking give up and just do what you do on a daily basis. Because if this shit does not put the battery in your back, 9 times out of 10, nothing. So definitely, if you need that kick in the ass,
you said get that book, and if it don't motivate you, then hang yourself, basically.
I'm like, yo, if this don't work. Like, it's one of them things like, yo, you take your whip to get a new battery and the new battery ain't working. It may be time for a new whip. Like, it may be time for work. It may be over. Like, hey, if this does not make you want to go out there and attack your dreams with everything you got, maybe just staying at your 9 to 5 is your lane. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not shitting on nobody, but you know, if you read this and it don't make you want to do more, then you know you may just want to just fall back and just keep that shit to yourself. So yeah, so that's it.
That shit to yourself.
You know me, Trey. I'm one of the people like, yo, we can have a conversation. We can have a conversation about something, but the next time we had a conversation, you can't vent. We need to be talking about how we're gonna solve the problem. Like, I'm not that friend who's coming to every time and we talk the same shit. Nigga,
that shit gets draining. That shit gets draining.
We talked about this. What's next? And if you don't have a next step, nigga, don't call me with that shit no more. Call me with everything else, but don't call me with that same shit again. I can't. My brain don't work like that. Keep that energy away from me. I'm doing too much dope shit right now for me to get bogged down by somebody else. So you gotta keep that shit over there. So Dep, appreciate y'all. I will check y'all next week. I'm still trying to figure out why it's only sexy niggas beat up.